HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Nobody in Kansas City has sports like 96.5 The Fan.
Right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City! A 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime! Kansas City wins the game!
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very excited to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Usually, we are joined by Patrick Mahomes on Wednesdays. That has been moved to Thursday this week because of the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. Their schedule is a little bit different, so our schedule is a little bit different on the show today. Coming up in about 15 minutes, Lance Leipold is going to call into the show. Coming up in exactly 1 hour, we're going to play our conversation with Chris Klieman. I got a chance to catch up with the K-State head coach earlier today. We'll play that for you coming up in an hour. You probably know this, but those two teams play each other this weekend. A little KU, a little K-State. It has been 16 years since Kansas has last beaten Kansas State in a football game. We'll see if they can get off the schneid coming up later this week. We'll get to some NFL trade rumors regarding the Kansas City Chiefs coming up in just a bit, but let me remind you of a couple of things. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I mean, it'd be great if you could tell two people to check out the show. But you know what? If you could just tell one person to listen into the show, you know what? I would appreciate that very much. Number three, and maybe most importantly, I need you to remember that the open of the show each day is brought to you by our friends over at The Other Place. So if you're looking for a place to watch a little bit of hockey after work, a little bit of basketball, we got some playoff baseball winding down. If you're looking for a place to watch some football, whatever sport you're into, be sure to stop by, see our friends over at The Other Place, get some great food specials, get some great drink specials, hang out, catch a vibe, and watch a little bit of sports. So, Rob, let me give you guys the latest of trade information. This information comes courtesy of ESPN. Now, one side of it are players potentially that the Chiefs could trade away. Every conversation that we have had about the Chiefs have been them adding players. But this is the first time, at least that I can remember, from Jeremy Fowler and Dan Graziano of ESPN, that the conversation was about players that the Chiefs could potentially move on from. Now, yesterday we talked to you guys about defensive linemen. Jeremy Fowler wrote that he thinks the Chiefs could add a defensive lineman, that they are depleted on the interior. Also added out that the Chiefs did add a defensive lineman, Melvin Ingram, back in 2021, if you remember. So that is something to keep in mind, something that we'll bring up here coming up in just a bit. But another little tidbit of information came out, one, Rob, that I think is pretty interesting. Listen to this. The Chiefs have a cornerback surplus that could be seen as value to the other teams. So the Chiefs don't have a lot of late-round ammunition currently in the next year's draft, but they do have a couple of players at corner that aren't seeing a lot of playing time that could possibly be a help for other teams. The two names that came out, this is from Jeremy Fowler, quote, "The Chiefs' cornerback room is going to be very interesting to watch entering the deadline. Free agent addition Christian Fulton has been a healthy scratch. Could they find a way out of his 2-year, $20 million deal? With rookie Noel Williams emerging and fourth-year player Joshua Williams could have some trade value." Now, let's talk about Christian Fulton. It's just never really gotten off to a good start. You remember he was hurt for most of training camp, most of the preseason. I don't think anybody really thought much of it. That happens, and he was going to be ready to go week one. That hasn't really been the case so far. I did not know this. I would have guessed a much higher number. But Christian Fulton has only played in 17 of the defensive snaps. Not 17%. I mean, he has played 17 plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a guy that if you committed a 2-year, $20 million deal, the expectation is that that guy is going to be your number 2 corner and be on the field a lot. That has not been the case. Jalen Watson plays a lot more than he does. Noel Williams, who is still trying to find his footing in the league, plays more than he does. Obviously, Trent McDuffie, you can go up and down the line right now when talking about this team. They're not really hurting at the cornerback position. He's been a healthy scratch in each of the last 2 games. I would say that right now there really isn't a clear pathway to him being on the field. So could we potentially see the Chiefs just kind of pull the ripcord, get themselves out of this contract? He's owed about $6 million in dead cap money the rest of the way, but he's also not playing at this point. So could you see the Chiefs maybe use Christian Fulton to try to pick up something? Now, I don't know why a team would pick up Christian Fulton's contract if he can't play for you and you don't think he's good enough, and you are the ones that liked him in free agency and paid him. Why would he help us out unless you're willing to eat some money? Now, Joshua Williams, I think, is a very interesting piece. Now, Rob, we were talking about this from the perspective of the Chiefs adding a player, but Joshua Williams is kind of one of those players that if you're another team, I could definitely see the appeal of you adding him. We're talking about a guy right now that's making no money by NFL standards. He's on a rookie contract, 4 years, $4.3 million. He is at the end of that deal. He's 26 years old, and he'll be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. Now, I think we can be realistic here. If you trade Joshua Williams, he ain't getting you back a 3rd or a 4th round pick. But could we see the Chiefs possibly try to pick up a 7th, maybe swap some picks, maybe pick up a 6th round pick if the Chiefs moved on from Joshua Williams? Certainly something to keep note of. I don't think these 2 names were thrown out there by 2 of the best reporters in the National Football League if that is not legitimate, genuine buzz. The other teams around the league are looking at rosters, seeing who's playing and who's not playing, and who could potentially help you. And we all know that cornerback depth is really important to pick up. So if the Chiefs have 2 guys that are currently not playing on their team, there are other teams around the league that are certainly going to call, inquire, and see if either one of those guys could potentially help them. Now, another name that has emerged that could potentially help the Chiefs on the defensive line, and Rob, I want to bring you in for this because this is the position group that you want to see them go out and really attack, is Jalen Phillips. Now, he is a outside linebacker, rush-in type for the Miami Dolphins. He's 26 years old. He was a first-round pick back in 2021, and he is on the final year of his rookie contract. This feels like the kind of players that we've seen the Chiefs really go after in their tenure. We call this the Brett Veach special. He's a guy who's never gotten double-digit sacks, was hurt last year, is playing okay so far this season, but you don't think that the Dolphins are going to bring him back next season. If the Dolphins are playing out the string, and I think they're going to fire their head coach at any given point, I don't think that Mike McDaniel is finishing the season as the head coach. They are certainly up for business. Devon Achane, I think Tyreek Hill would have been traded if not for the injury. Jalen Phillips is kind of one of those players. Maybe you just want to change the scenery. Maybe you just want him to go to a new place. You get this money off of your books. It's not a whole lot of money left the rest of the way. And you just try to get something for a player that you either don't want or you thought was going to walk away in free agency anyway. Now, he's not going to be cheap. He's on the final year of a first-round deal. So his base salary is around $13 million. Let's chop that in half because we're about halfway done with the season. You're picking up about $6.5 million for Jalen Phillips the rest of the way. Now, would the Dolphins be willing to buy some of that money out in order to get a better draft pick? That obviously remains to be seen. But I think, Rob, if you're trying to find a realistic name, who could the Chiefs potentially add in that rotation? Who's somebody that could help them with their defensive line and give you a little bit of juice on the end? Jalen Phillips is the kind of player I think they're going to be looking for.
You know what he is? He's a player I would very much be in favor of them adding. He's very much like Joshua Uche. Like, he's a player who was a high-round pick. I don't believe Joshua Uche was a first-round pick, but he was a premium player for the Patriots. He has not lived up to that premium ability, and he's on a contract that's expiring. He's a player you think you can get more out of than the team he's on right now, and because of those things, you can get him on the relative cheap. All things are relative in the NFL as far as cheap, but you're probably not going to pay a 2nd or 3rd round pick for a player like Jalen Phillips. So this is a really smart deal, and I'm happy Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, friend of the show, laid that out as an option. Because he is an improvement on pass rush, if not anything else, depth of the position. He's, in theory, low acquisition cost, and you think you can get more out of him. And if it doesn't work, similar to Joshua Uche last year, it's not a break the bank type of move. I would be in favor of Jalen Phillips being on the Chiefs. I will also say a Jalen Phillips type is something I'm far more interested in than a Breece Hall, Alvin Kamara running back type of move. I would be in favor of Jalen Phillips, but I don't think at this point in the season there is any perfect solution, but he seems to check all the boxes what the Chiefs could use the trade deadline.
That's interesting that you bring up the name Breece Hall, because that was the last name that I was going to bring up here, because he was a name that was floated to Kansas City. Now, I use floated in a very, very loose term. So there's a story right now on ESPN, the top 25 players that could likely be traded. Breece Hall was very high on the list. I think very important to note with Breece Hall, he's 24 years old. He's also in the final year of his contract. He's a guy that I think is going to get decent running back money next year. I don't think he's going to get top of the market money, but I also don't think you're getting Breece Hall on the cheap. I think he's one of the top 15, 20 running backs in the National Football League. I think on the right team in the right system, Breece Hall could be an absolute monster. So I don't think you're picking him up for a 6th-round pick. I also think if he is truly available, there's going to be a pretty strong market for a player like him that is a potential game-changing kind of player. So I wanted to throw a couple of names out there that we are seeing. Reports are starting to kind of come out for. Jalen Phillips, who plays defensive line for the Miami Dolphins. He has a couple of sacks so far this season. He's in the final year of a rookie contract. That seems like a Brett Veach special to me. Breece Hall is a name that's being thrown out there. I don't think it makes a lot of sense for Kansas City. I don't think they're going to overpay for running back. I also think that he's going to command a second contract, and I just don't think the Chiefs are going to offer that contract to Breece Hall, so I'm not sure if he's the right rental piece for them. A couple of possibilities for the Chiefs to maybe make a trade where they could get back some draft pick compensation. Joshua Williams' name was thrown out there, also Christian Fulton. We keep this conversation going on the other side. We are less than 2 weeks away from the NFL trade deadline. We're also going to be joined by the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, Lance Leipold, set to join us on the show. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and nothing says Thanksgiving like football. Verizon is giving you a chance to enter and win 2 tickets and travel for 2 to the Thanksgiving Day football game in Texas. Enter for a chance to win tickets to the Thanksgiving Day game in Texas. Don't miss your shot at the ultimate holiday football experience. Visit a local participating Verizon store in Kansas City to enter the Thanksgiving Day game sweepstakes.
No purchase necessary. 18 plus 50 USDC. Start 10/17 and 11/16. Void where prohibited. For a list of participating stores and official rules, visit Verizon.com/Thanksgiving Game Day Sweeps KC.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone, lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
Hey, Chiefs fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Kansas City Chiefs. And this season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. We have the holidays coming up, good comfort food aplenty. With that in mind, we are running a garbage disposal special of $100 off. We only install incinerators. A good working disposal is key to avoiding drain backups, and no one needs surprises these days. So call 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com.
This afternoon, expect sunny conditions with a high of 69.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Follow the station on Instagram at TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, Lance Leipold, as they get ready for their matchup this weekend at home against Kansas State. Coach, happy to have you pop on today.
Well, it's good to be with you again. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. We have been asking everybody this question for the last couple of weeks. I have to ask you this. What is your word that you struggle spelling that you let spell check take over? So my word is convenience. We asked Patrick Mahomes this. He said his word is itinerary. What is the word that you struggle spelling that spell check has to spell it for you?
I think both of those are right there. They would have to be my definite top five. I'm going to go with inconvenience. I think that is one that definitely gets me.
Okay, a lot of things to get into here. Happy to have you back on the show. Let's just start with this. What have you learned about your team over the first 6-7 weeks of the season?
Again, I've said from the start, I've said it to this team since the spring. I think we have a chance to be a really good football team, but again, consistency will be the key. And I think right now we haven't quite obtained that yet. That we have the flashes to be a really good team, and have had those chances come up from time to time, but a few of those have slipped away. The Texas Tech game, I think we were handled by a team that was significantly better than us on that day. But the other two losses, I thought we competed hard in showing those things. And again, we'll have to be at our best this Saturday against a good Kansas State team.
I'm really excited about the quarterback matchup in this one. Let's talk about your quarterback and Jalen Daniels. I think we've just seen his confidence grow. He's playing a lot more consistent. It feels like something is different with him this year. I talked to you about this earlier in the season. I was at the game against Fresno State, and I remember early on in that game, he got a first down. He signaled first down, and he just had a different aura, a different energy about him. How have you seen him grow as the season's progressed?
I think he's much more relaxed. I think as he's gone through the things, the ups and downs, I think playing every game last year was definitely something that was important to him and showed the consistency that he can be. His approach to this has continued to be outstanding. He's one of the first guys in the building each and every day. His preparation of taking care of himself and then preparing for the opponent has been great. His confidence in the receiving core and in the game plan has been excellent as well. I think part of that confidence and being relaxed is he's really done a great job of going through his progressions and not trying to put the ball where it doesn't need to be or to a certain individual, but kind of going through things. And that's why you see different guys kind of showing up time to time with big games for us.
How have you, I guess, seen his experience be such a positive for you guys? We're talking about a guy that has played in big games, played in rivalry games, certainly knows the importance of this rivalry. How do you think that is an advantage for you guys heading into this matchup?
Well, I think it gives us a level of calmness, and also a guy that even though we haven't been able to complete 4 quarters and get a win against Kansas State since our arrival, I think the progression made in the program and where some of those performances have gone has given us confidence that we can go out and compete against this team. And I think Jalen's experiences in this game and throughout his career gives us that sense of again, that calmness that we're looking for. Jalen is, and I say this to people, and I'm trying to kind of go through, even through all the ups and downs. Yeah, there were some pretty low lows as far as personal news to him and being able to play. But all in all, after the initial shocks of whatever that disappointment might have been, he is the same guy in this building each and every day, whether he's played well or if he's had a performance that he wish he could take some things back. And I think this team really respects that. They rally around it. They flush it, a bad game away and get on to the next play. And I think he emulates that very well for us.
Right now, we're talking to Lance Leipold. He is the head coach at the University of Kansas. They got a very important game this week at home against Kansas State. Coach, let's talk about the bye week. How important was it to have that bye week after playing Texas Tech, one of the better teams in the Big 12, one of the better teams in the country, have that in the middle between one of you guys' most important games of the season at home against K-State?
Yeah, I think it's important. Again, sometimes after you kind of go through a tough night like we did down there, you want to flush it and get on to the next game as quickly as possible. But I think our guys did a good job of flushing that, owning what needs to be worked on again. And then it gave us a chance because we're, like a lot of people are this time of year, your body's getting banged up and you've got to find a way to put yourself back together and prepare and get on the practice field, let alone be ready to go on game day. And I just think it came at a good time. We were able to reduce some of the workload on some of our players and get other guys some reps and again, still prepare for a good opponent here on Saturday.
One of my friends is a big KU fan. She's a season ticket holder. Rob, my producer, you just spoke to him. He is a season ticket holder. Both of them plan on going to the game, both very excited that this game is sold out. How much does it mean to you? How much does it mean to your program that it seems like fans have really rallied around the new stadium and everything that you guys have going on? Also about this team that's a couple wins away from making a bowl game.
Yeah, it's extremely important to have a sold-out crowd when we can and have a filled stadium. Home field advantage can be huge. It plays the difference. In fact, I was talking to somebody here earlier today about the importance of a crowd and what it does. And playing two games on the road back-to-back like we did, both at Central Florida and down in Lubbock, those fans were into it. Both those universities and programs have fine game day atmosphere that made it difficult. Our players commented about it, the atmosphere that goes. I know with the renovations to date, I think we've created a better environment here. The stadium has turned out awesome so far, and as we continue to work and improve, we want our fans here making a difference on Saturday, and they can help bring us to victory.
Coach, you guys have already played in one rivalry game this season a month ago against Mizzou. How valuable do you think that experience is that now you guys are hosting a rivalry game?
I think it's important anytime you get in big games, and it's a goal again as many of us in college football. You want to build consistent winning programs. You want them all to be big, but obviously there's certain ones that, based on locality and other things, become games that are talked about more. I think we still want to make sure our players approach each and every week with a level of consistency on how they prepare, their rest, how they take care of their bodies, hydration, film prep, everything that you want in your players. But as you know, when you get into it, a lot of times players know each other a little bit more and all those things that you have a chance. You feel a little extra energy in the stadium, like we said, and when it's a full house, those things help, and it also makes it a special. And I hope there's positive experiences from our first one earlier this year.
Coach, there's always going to be pressure when you're the head coach of a Power 4 school. Do you feel added pressure to break this streak?
Added pressure. We want to get this streak broken. There's a lot of things. It ends up being a lot of conversation. I think from the time we arrived, when people asked about it, I said it was our responsibility in order to make rivalries, that the games needed to be closer. And now close isn't good enough. We understand that. And I don't know about extra pressure. I think, we put enough pressure on ourselves in this building each and every week to be at our best. And it's a high stressful position career we've decided on. So, again, I want to make sure that we play our best football to date and see where it takes us on Saturday.
I'm not trying to create any bulletin board material, but I'm wondering if you guys already have money set aside for a possible field storming. I mean, I hope you know that if you guys win this game, those students are running on the field. It's been a long time since you guys have won this game. The fine's around $50,000. I hope you guys got that put aside.
Well, I don't know about that. I haven't had a chance to look into that. As you said, you're not looking for any bulletin board material, and I'm not trying to say anything that ends up on a bulletin board. So, I know our guys and I know our fan base will be excited if the Jayhawks come out on top, and we want them to be. So, again, we need to take care of business, and we'll see where it all falls from there.
Right now, we're talking to the head coach of the University of Kansas, Lance Leipold, joining us on the show. Coach, what would it mean for you in your career? What would it mean for your team, your program to win a game like this? We're talking about the streak here. K-State, they've won the Big 12. They played in big games. That's obviously a place that you guys are trying to get to. What would it mean to finally just get this monkey off your back, so to speak?
Well, personally, this is about a program. It's not about one individual. I know the head coach is the one that has his name on a lot of different things. I think it's important for this football program to have a win against Kansas State because it's been so long, and that's what we need to do and focus on. I think it would be another big step in the development and of this program and where we want it to be and where we want it to be each and every year.
Coach, what do you guys need to do on Saturday to win this football game?
Well, again, we've got to be, we watch something. We got to be solid in all three phases. We've watched some stuff. We've let things get away from us in special teams, and really all four previous meetings since we've been here. I think we've got to be able to contain a very dynamic and explosive offense, starting with Avery Johnson, and if Dylan Edwards is on the field, and as I said, when they put those two and Jace Brown on the field, that's as athletic and speed wise as good as anybody in the Big 12, maybe the country, as far as pure speed on the field. So we got to be able to we got to be better than we were down in Lubbock as far as being gap sound and making sure that we tackle well and do those things and make them drive the field to beat us. Offensively, we got to be a little more balanced than we've been in running the ball. And we talked much about what Jalen's been doing for us. We've got to be a better third down team than we've been to date, as well as scoring touchdowns in the red zone. And if we do all these things that I've talked about, then again, we're going to have a great chance to win the football game.
Coach, I'll get you out of here with this last question. We appreciate your time. Let's just talk about the parity right now that exists, not just in college football, but also exists in the Big 12 right now. 1 week, I think the Texas Tech's the best team in the league. They go on the road, they lose to Arizona State. You think that Iowa State could maybe be the best team in the league. They go on the road, they lose to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's put together some good wins this season. You guys are still in the conversation, still in the mix. I don't know if I've seen from top to bottom the Big 12 as deep and wide open that it appears as we now enter the halfway point of the season.
Well, yeah, and it's something that's been talked about. I think every coach in our conference at Media Day in July talked about this. I think it's just been shown itself the last couple of years, and it's shown itself even more so this year. You mentioned a couple of those games. I mean, Texas Tech goes to Utah and beats a good Utah team pretty handily, and then Utah handles Arizona State handily, and then Arizona State beats Texas Tech. So you can't get into, well, this team beat them, and you match up like this. Each and every week in this conference is a battle. It can depend upon really the health of your team, obviously, your travel, your mindset, and of course how you just match up against people. And it's something that we should have a lot of pride into. And as we talked about before, our opponent on Saturday was also a team that was being talked about as a favorite to win this conference, and they have our utmost respect as they come to town.
Coach, I'm coming at this from a completely neutral perspective. I'm not a KU fan. I'm not a K-State fan. I just want to see a good competitive game. But part of me does want to see you win just so Rob can be happy.
if that's what puts it over the top, I'll take it. But again, we want a great college football game on Saturday, and again, I'm looking forward to it as we have a chance to kind of snap this streak against Coach Kleiman and his fine program.
That is the head coach of the University of Kansas, Lance Leipold, joining us on the show today. The Sunflower Showdown coming up Saturday at 11 o'clock. You can hear the K-State broadcast right here on 96.5 The Fan. Coach, we want to say good luck to you this weekend. Really appreciate your time.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be with you again. You have a great rest of your week. Rock chalk.
Absolutely. That is Lance Leipold joining us on the show today. Rob, so for a little bit behind the scenes, Rob and I kind of go over the questions, hey, this is your head coach. What do you want to know? What do you want me to ask him? What do you want to talk about? Rob wrote down that there was some bulletin board material from K-State. Now, Rob hasn't shown me the bulletin board material. He just tells me that it exists. I didn't want to ask Coach Kleiman when I haven't seen this for myself. You got to let me in on the 411. You're telling me K-State's talking down? What's happening right now? What's going on over there?
So I'm trying to pull up the exact quote here. I believe it's Desmond Purnell. He's a linebacker from Topeka. He plays at Kansas State. He was asked about this rivalry, and I'm trying to find the exact quote because he said something to the effect of, their offense is good, they're explosive, we have the utmost respect for them, all the things you're supposed to say, but then finished the quote by saying, I think we're the better team and we're going to handle business on Saturday. That is what Desmond Purnell said about Kansas State.
That's not bulletin board material.
By the way,
I think we're the better team and I expect us to win? We're counting that as bulletin board material?
In a coach speak world? Yeah.
My goodness.
Here it goes. We've got better guys. I feel like we're going to go out there and dominate.
I might take back what I just said to Coach Leipold for that. That is not bulletin board material. I hope that the guys on KU feel the exact same way. We've got good teammates. We expect to win this game. I'm happy I didn't ask him about this. You tried to set me up. That's what you tried to do. You tried to set me up. Now, I try to stay out of Jayhawk business for the most part. Sometimes I gotta dabble in Jayhawk business. It's just a job. I feel like this is the most important game of Lance Leipold's time at KU. I feel like it's the most important game that he's had. Think about everything. They have a 6th-year starting quarterback. They're at home, brand new stadium. I think you can argue for the first time, maybe since 2008, that Kansas has a better football team than K-State. They've certainly been more consistent. There's no reason to hang your head on the losses that KU has this year. Missouri, better than you are. Cincinnati, better than you are. Texas Tech, better than you are. I don't know if K-State's better than them this season. Now, I'm not saying that K-State can't go on the road and possibly win this game, but I don't know if it's the foregone conclusion that it's been. There used to be a wide gap between that program and your program. I don't know if that exists, not on the field, not for this week. So to me, this feels like one of those, hey, we've pumped a lot of money and resources into this thing. You've mentioned it before, Rob. It's one thing to lose on the road to Missouri. You got them with the get-back game next year, and you hope to just go 1-1 in this series. It's another thing at home after a bye week to continue the streak against K-State. Man, I want to see you guys finally win. Win this game, tear down the goalposts, drop it in the lake. I mean, David Booth, you got the $50,000 to pay for them kids to run out there on the field. That should be a check that you're happy to pay if you end up winning this game. This, to me, from the outside, and again, I'm a neutral party. I really don't care who wins one way or the other. I'm going to get my jokes off regardless of who wins and loses this game because it's going to be funny because one side's going to be mad either way. It feels like Lance Leipold really has to win this game. And on the flip side, talking about K-State, for a year that feels like it's been a disaster, the one thing that you can hold on to this season is at least we keep beating KU. You lose that this year, you're telling me this season fell apart. You're not playing for anything, can't win the Big 12. You're not going to a marquee bowl, and you lost to KU. There's a lot at stake on both sides here.
I think maybe not the biggest game, but maybe because bowl games, all those things, this might be the most anticipated game in the Lance Leipold era at Kansas for all the things you said. Like, one of the reasons why KU fans feel like they can break the streak this year is A, quarterback play. When you have the quarterback, you have a chance in every game. Doesn't mean you're going to win every game, but Chiefs fans, you get this. If you have the quarterback, you have a chance in every game. That's what KU feels like with Jalen Daniels. And also, let's be honest, K-State's a little bit down this year, which is a testament to what Chris Kleiman has done. It's what that program is. The fact that they are trending toward 6-6, 7-5, and people like me and you and K-State fans alike are saying, man, this is a down year, is a positive for the Wildcats. But it feels like all the things are at play for KU to finally break this streak. And if we're being honest, the last 2 years, KU coulda, shoulda, woulda gotten K-State. 2 years ago in the final game of the old stadium, they were up by 11 with a quarter and a half to go. They found a way to lose. That's unacceptable. Last year, they had the ball with 3-ish minutes to go, and they had a lead. All you got to do is don't turn it over. What do? They fumble. K-State kicks a field goal. You lose the game. You found a way to lose the last 2 years against K-State. So KU fans feel like, all right, you've been on the doorstep. Can you finally get through that threshold of beating K-State when on the box score, the computer box, as Barber calls it, the last 2 years, you've been the superior team, but somehow, some way, you walked away with 2 losses. How's that keep happening?
Rob, you're my brother, and I don't mean this with any shade. I've never heard you talk with more passion than you have on those last 2 heartbreaking K-State losses. I can hear it in your voice. You're tired of losing to them. They've been beating you around now for a decade and a half. I know you. You're waking up on Saturday at what, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock? I know you're probably not going to get a good night's sleep. You're anxious about this game. You started working on Chris Kleiman last week to come on the show. You don't ever show this kind of initiative. You're fired up for this game. This game's really going to break you. You kind of expected them to lose to Missouri. I was around you that day. Hey, we're on the road. I get it if we lose this game. You've been marking down the days. You and I watched K-State lose their first game. We're in the shop bar in Columbia, Missouri. You're screaming at the TV, K-State stinks. This one is really going to hurt you if they don't win this Saturday against K-State. I can just hear it in your voice. I know you, man.
First off, I wish I was allowed to wake up at 6 a.m. The wife's not allowing that. There have already been some parameters and rules put in place.
That's because y'all probably got an Airbnb in Lawrence. That's probably why.
That idea was shot down real quick. Hey, what about October? No, we're not staying in Lawrence. Okay, well, it's worth an idea. Yes, you're right. This one's going to break me. The Mizzou game, I wanted to beat Mizzou. I was at the game. I felt like KU was in the game until the end. But you're right. Mizzou's a team that is aiming for the college football playoff, and Kansas is a team that's probably 7-5, 8-4 type of energy. It would have been great, but 7-5 teams don't go on the road and beat 9-3 teams in college football. It doesn't happen all that often. This one feels like you're the more talented team. It feels like you're the team that's playing better this season. You got the home field advantage. You got a sellout. You feel like you should be 2-0 in the last 2 games against them, and you're not. Yes, this one would hurt me so much if they found a way. It's like this would be akin to what last year watching the basketball team was like. It will hurt my spirit every moment of it.
Okay, all right, I'm ready to move on. I'm really trying to come at this game from a neutral standpoint. I honestly don't really care who wins. I feel like I'm in the best position. I can make fun of KU if they lose. I can make fun of K-State if they lose. I mean, it's going to be great. All I really care about is Missouri and Vanderbilt. The rest of these other games, I don't care. I don't plan on watching them. I'm going to be so nervous, a nervous wreck. It's the biggest Missouri game in a decade. I'm fired up about it.
It's the biggest Missouri game in 2 weeks. Bama was a bigger game than Vanderbilt.
This one, I mean, the Alabama one, all right, you can lose this one. This one officially eliminates you if you lose this one. You lose this game, yeah, I mean, you can still have a nice season. You can finish 9-3 and go to a decent bowl game. Go back to the Music City Bowl. Maybe you get the Las Vegas Bowl or something against a Big Ten team. But yeah, this feels like a playoff game to me. The loser of this game has 2 SEC losses. The loser is likely eliminated from the college football playoff. So, yeah, this is a bigger game, in my opinion, than that one. I want to play this audio for you guys really quickly. I promise you we'll get back to sports. We also got Chris Kleiman coming on the show in about 20 minutes or so. So we got you ready for the Sunflower Showdown. This story I'm about to play came up on my TikTok algorithm. What's going on with people?
Forget big weddings, now it's the proposal that's breaking the bank. Couples are dropping serious cash just to pop the question, with some proposals now costing more than the honeymoon or even the ceremony itself. According to the New York Post, one man spent over $14,000, including a private rooftop setup. Another couple flew to Portugal, shelled out $17,000, complete with designer watches, drone footage, a luxury hotel. Experts say it's all about the wow moment and the Instagram likes to prove it, and is being driven by influencers. So what do you think about the pricey trend? Let us know.
Hey, man. Hey, love is love, and I support love, all kind of love. It don't matter to me. I don't care. If you're happy, I'm happy. It don't bother me. $17,000 on a proposal? Whatever happened to this? Whatever happened to going back to the place of your first date? You and her's first date was at the Majestic. You take her back to the Majestic. You're sitting there across from her. She looks beautiful. She's dressed nice. You're dressed nice. Looking her in her face, telling her how much you care about her, how much you love her, pulling the ring out of your pocket and saying that you want to spend time with her. What happened to taking your old lady out to Loose Park and getting down on one knee? What happened to that? $14,000? Why do you need drone footage? Who are you, Michael Bay? What are you doing? What are we doing with this? The wow moment? I don't understand, Rob. Every time we find one of these stories about marriages and weddings, I just don't $14,000? We haven't spent money on anything else. Not a tux, not a wedding dress, not a honeymoon, not a bachelor party, not a bachelorette party. We're talking about is 5 figures just to say, will you marry me? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You can buy a car with that. For what? This is ridiculous. Rob, how did you propose? Knowing you probably did it like a KU volleyball game.
No.
That's what you did. You did it at a KU softball game.
I kept it cheap. I did it at the house. Now, we went out to a nice dinner afterwards. I spent money on we went to Rock Hill Grill afterwards for a very nice dinner.
Yeah, for sure.
I told Rock Hill Grill ahead of time that we were going to engage. So, they gave us each a glass of champagne. It was very nice. But I was like, hey, before we go out, I have a quick question for you. Got down on one knee and asked her to marry me. I didn't spend no $5,000 on a special moment.
That's what I'm saying. I'm serious, man. People do too much stuff for the likes, man. They do too much stuff for the likes. You go to Portugal? Come on now. I don't know about that. That's crazy. That's nuts. I'm serious. Just go to the park like everybody else. Just go to the park, get down on one knee. Baby, I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me? Free $99. If you want to hire a photographer, sure, that's fine. That's what, $500, maybe $1,000? If you want to do that, that's fine. I got to go to Portugal. This marriage is about to end in 3 years anyway, based on average. We only got a 50% chance of making it anyway. Save some of your coin for the divorce lawyer. We got Chris Kleiman coming up in 20 minutes. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Hey Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Our summer sales event is here and the deals are hotter than ever. Right now, drive home in a brand new 2025 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport starting at under $30,000. Or lease for just $399 a month with zero down. Need something bigger? Check out the spacious new Explorer, the larger Bronco where you can pop the top and doors off for those nice fall days, or the always tough F-150 STX Crew Cab 4-wheel drive. Just zero down and $499 a month. Lease payments are plus tax, title, and license. And folks, if you haven't checked out the versatile Ford Maverick, you're missing out. At Victory Ford, we have them in stock starting under $30,000. That's unbelievable value, a pickup that even fits right in your garage. Kansas City, if you haven't been behind the wheel of a new Ford lately, now's the time. The build quality is second to none, and we've got the selection ready for you today. So don't wait. Visit us at the Legends in KCK or online at victoryfordkc.com. Victory Ford, where our first price is better than our last.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text METER to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text METER to 42424. That's METER to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Airman here for Midwest Heating. Now, we like to approach life in a lighthearted manner, but with the projected rise in natural gas prices, this winter's heating bills may be no joking matter. Many old furnaces have efficiency ratings as low as 60%, which means you're literally burning money. So think about this. Midwest Heating has a variety of high-efficiency Lennox systems that can heat your home, drastically improve your air quality, and boost that efficiency as high as 99%. Saving that kind of money each month will be a nice help for the other bills in your life. Even better, Midwest offers up to $1,800 in rebates on qualifying Lennox home comfort systems and up to 60-month 0% financing with approved credit. Dial 943-8787 or go to MidwestHeating.com for complete details. Now, for 7 decades, it's the same story. Trust your air to the best. Midwest. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
All right, let's talk about a couple of different news and notes that came out today. So today, the NFL had their fall meetings. You guys are probably familiar with the owners' meetings that happened over the summer. That's when they actually vote on what's going to stay in, what's going to go out. I mean, that's how we got the change when it comes to how the ball is measured. That's when we got the change to the playoffs, the tush push, all of those things. So that happens in the spring before the season. They have a fall meeting that they just kind of get together, talk, have all these conversations, right? So today, Roger Goodell spoke. He said a couple of things. Number one of the big storylines was Bad Bunny being selected for the Super Bowl halftime show. This is what he said, quote, "He is one of the leading and most popular entertainers in the world. That's what we're trying to achieve. It's been carefully thought through. I don't think we've ever received an artist without some blowback or criticism." He did say that there's a chance that somebody comes out with Bad Bunny. I think we always knew that. There's usually a special guest or two when it comes to the Super Bowl, but there is no plan on replacing Bad Bunny for the halftime show. I know that some of you guys have very strong feelings about this. I don't have very strong feelings about this, but I just don't really know why it matters so much. I was just reading a story earlier today. There has been a petition that's been circulating around the internet, and they have gotten over 50,000 signatures to replace Bad Bunny with George Strait. I guess I don't understand why people feel so passionate about the halftime show. We watch football games all the time with no halftime show. This Super Bowl will be like all of those other ones to me. I don't listen to Bad Bunny. I can't name a Bad Bunny song. I don't understand what he's saying, but you know what I plan on doing during the Super Bowl halftime show? Something else. I'm watching it with other people. I'll just talk to them during that 14 minutes. I'll just go get something to drink. I'll go get something to eat. I'll be on TikTok. I'll go on Twitter. I'll just do a bunch of other things. That doesn't mean they got to stop it just because it's not for me. I'll just find something else to do to entertain myself. I don't know why everybody doesn't just have this mentality when it comes to Bad Bunny if that's not what you like. I know how this game goes. Some years I'm going to enjoy the halftime show. Some years it's not going to be for me. That's fine. This isn't who I would have picked for the halftime show. I told you guys, I would have picked Post Malone to do it. I would have picked Miley Cyrus to do it, a more pop act. That's not the direction that they went. I mean, I guess he's a pop act. He just doesn't speak English in his music, but that's fine with me. I'll just find something else to do. I'm not signing no petitions to get him kicked off of it. Just seems like nonsense to me. Find something else to do with your time. There's definitely more productive things you can do in those 14 minutes than complain about Bad Bunny. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So that's number one. Number two, as you would expect, the owners got together to talk about the tush push. Can we just get rid of it already?
football operations executives yesterday, and Troy Vincent said they are having trouble officiating the tush push. This has been an issue all season. Are the Eagles jumping before they should be jumping? And he admitted the line judge, that's the judge that would be responsible for calling it, has trouble seeing if they are moving before the snap. And he said they are trying to get better at it. But look, we know that the league tried to get rid of this play in the offseason last year. They talked about the health and safety issues, the concerns about it. And certainly you would expect that as this goes forward, and we expect this to come up again in the offseason, whether they want the tush push to remain in the game, you would think, Ian, that their issues with officiating, the fact that they are having a tough time officiating it properly, is going to enter the conversation.
Then it's time to get rid of it. Everything ends. Everything. There's an expiration date on everything. The tush push has an expiration date of the final game of the Philadelphia Eagles season in 2025 and or 2026. It's over. We're all over it. I don't want it anymore. It's almost like they know it's coming to an end. What game was that? It was that Thursday night football game against the Giants. They ran it 4 straight plays. Come on now. What are we doing? They ran it 7 times earlier this season against the Kansas City Chiefs. They can't officiate it. The officials have just simply thrown their hands up at the tush push. Well, you guys had a chance to stop it. You failed to stop it. What do you want us to do? Hey, have at it. We don't know where the ball is. The guard is constantly moving. It's a false start. Bro, it's over. I don't know what to tell you. There's really not much to discuss. You got to find a new quarterback sneak. You spent all that money on Jalen Hurts, all that money on Saquon Barkley. Just run regular plays. This isn't a regular play. So that's thing number 2 from the fall meetings. The last thing is, and I will continue to be the only proponent of this, and I don't care. Troy Vincent, who is the vice president for the players, told team owners today that it might be time to look at a 4th and 15 proposal that would be offered as an alternative to the onside kick, that the lack of recoveries on onside kick have disappointed the league because you guys have completely killed the onside kick. It is not a realistic play. So either let's go back to the old way that we used to do it, which the league doesn't seem very interested in, or we need to figure out a way to give you a chance to get the ball back at the end of the game and keep possession. It's that simple. The 4th and 15 or 4th and 20 to me is the most logical way of doing that. The NFL is an incredible product. It could be even better if your team was down 10 with 3 minutes to go and you had 1 timeout, you had a realistic way of getting back into the game. Right now, that way doesn't exist. So give you a chance. I also hate some of these arguments that aren't based on the math of what we're talking about. For those of you that gamble on these games, some of you don't, I get that. Some of you do. We're talking about teams consistently hitting 3-leg parlays. For those of you that do this, you know how hard it is to hit 3-leg parlays. We are talking about your team scoring. Already hard enough, you're losing the game. So scoring, you have to score. You got to make the extra point. You then have to successfully complete a 4th and 15 or 4th and 20, and then you have to either get down the field to kick a field goal and or down the field to score a touchdown. That's a lot of things that got to happen in a small amount of time. So yes, some teams will win because of this rule. The large majority of teams will continue to lose in these scenarios, but it'll make things more interesting. It'll make things more fun. It'll give you reason to watch all 60 minutes of the game in some cases. Well, right now, you don't need to. You look up at the clock, you look up at the score, the game is over. I mean, it might not be over, but it's over. One team's just going to run the ball, and that's the end of it. So why don't we create a more exciting ending to the game? I also hate it's gimmicky. Most of the advancements in sports have been deemed gimmicky, and then they became part of the game. People thought the 3-point shot was gimmicky. People thought that the shot clock was gimmicky. People thought 2-point conversions were gimmicky. They're not a gimmick. They're now part of the game. They're regular. The onside kick doesn't work. It's a 6% play. We got a chance to get it where, based on the math, your team has about a 20% chance of converting a 4th and 15. You then got to add, again, all the other things that you have to do. So I will continue to stand here, and every time this comes up, I will tell you guys, this is the best thing for the National Football League. It will make the ends of games more exciting if they consider doing this. Give it a test run. Try it in the preseason. We didn't instantly go to the pitch clock in baseball. They tried it for some time. They tried it. We saw how it worked. Oh, this works. We got enough data points. I'm not saying you instantly got to do it. Can we try it? Try it in the preseason. Let's see how it works. If you like it, then let's have another conversation about it. But we can't continue this onside kick. It's boring. It's anticlimactic. It has no place in the game. You've completely killed the play. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll be joined by Chris Kleiman. He's the head coach at Kansas State University. They get ready to play KU on Saturday. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. That bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
With 24 monthly bill credits on Experience Beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended, balance due if you pay off earlier, cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
This is James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. With rates as low as 4.5% and your home's equity at record highs, now's the time to refinance. Our cash-out customers save an average of more than $1,000 a month and even skip 2 payments. Call 913-890-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Lending, join my blue.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Schedule your home improvement project while the weather is still nice with Powell Exteriors KC. They offer easy financing, pay no interest until 2027, a 10-year workmanship warranty, and their extended summer sale. PowellExteriorsKC.com. The power of KC is Powell Exteriors KC.
You could be on the 50 at GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Enter to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Engines rumble, tires smoke, and the barbecue's fired up with Boost and Barbecue. This Friday and Saturday at Flying H Drag Strip in Odessa. See the fastest streetcars in the world battle it out on the strip, plus burnouts, a huge barbecue competition, car show, and kids zone. Kids 12 and under get in free. Then Saturday night, country star Chris Jansen takes the stage live. It's 2 full days of racing, music, and mouth-watering fun you won't don't want to miss. Get your tickets now at boostandbarbecue.com.
Hey, football fans, tune in this week to kick off with Boomer and Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL. Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by the Home Depot. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text METER to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text METER to 42424. That's METER to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Listen to the Chiefs and Commanders on Monday night with pregame starting at 4. Kickoff at 7:15 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNZ FM and AM HD1 and HD2. Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station.
Right now, we are very happy to be joined by the head coach at Kansas State University. Chris Kleiman joins us on the show today. Coach, really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's just start with this. What does this week mean to you? What does this week mean to your university? What does it mean to your players?
Yeah, it's obviously an important game for our players, for alumni-based fans, all that stuff. But it's another opportunity for us. I mean, we know we're facing a really good team in KU. We got to go to their place. I know how big this game is for the state. And, our guys understand all that. But I also want them to focus on their jobs and focus on their assignments and what we have to do to be successful. And once we kick that thing off, I know it's KU versus K-State, but then we just got to execute and play high-level football.
Right now, we're talking to Chris Kleiman, taking a look ahead to this weekend's game against Kansas. KU and K-State going up against one another. Coach, what have you learned about your football team over the first 7-8 weeks of the season?
Well, we've learned a lot more since our last bye week, where we played football, played 3 football games and played really, really pretty good. Now, we won 2 of them. We should have had a chance to beat Baylor. We let that one slip, but we played much better the last 3 weeks, and hopefully we have a little bit of an identity of what we are, of being able to rush the football and getting a little bit better on defense and special teams. We weren't a very good team the first, I'd say, quarter of the season for whatever reason, but we've hopefully flipped that switch a little bit. It was one of the things about not wanting an open week when we had it before we played KU. It happened that for both of us, we had one. We were playing pretty good in beating TCU and beating UCF, and then we have this open week. So hopefully our guys got rested, but we haven't kind of lost that edge where we were playing really well.
What are you doing during that bye week? Are you hyper-focusing on KU and watching other games? Are you keeping a look at the national landscape, maybe the Big 12? How are you best utilizing that time that you have in the middle of the season?
Yeah, I think it's twofold. One, we're still a development program, and so we've got to make sure we work on some of these younger players that haven't had an opportunity to play basically K-State versus K-State football. They've been doing scout cards. So we focused a lot of our time on a lot of those freshmen, a lot of those newer players that maybe haven't gotten a chance to play in games. And then, obviously we've spent some time working on KU. You play them so often, and both programs know each other so well that we know there's going to be new wrinkles that we're going to see, and we're probably going to give them a few wrinkles. That's just typical of this matchup.
Looking at the quarterback matchup here, let's start with you guys. How important is it to have somebody like Avery around, who has obviously played in this rivalry and also grew up around it and understand what this rivalry means to the state?
Yeah, I know that is important. It's important for our team. It's important to Avery. The fact that he was at KU in 2023. Will played the majority of that game, but he saw that vibe, saw the atmosphere, saw that it was a tough place to play in. Then having the opportunity to come here and play at home last year, of getting that feel for what this game is really about in between the lines. And that experience is going to really help him. But same thing, he's got to play within himself and just let the game plan of what they hopefully can give us that he can exploit and take care of.
We talked about growth amongst your team. I feel like we've seen that growth with Avery as well. He's been a different quarterback since that Arizona game. You guys had the bye week afterwards. You come back. You mentioned that you guys are playing well. That seems to coincide with Avery playing a lot better as well.
Yeah, and it's coincided with us being able to rush the football. I think that's the biggest thing for any quarterback is having that ability to hand the ball off and not being second and 10 and third and 11. We've been in a lot more second and medium and third and shorts, which then it allows Avery to use his arm, use his legs. It allows Coach Wells to open up the playbook a little bit more. And I think probably you'd say the same thing. If you cannot rush the football, you're putting so much pressure on your quarterback, and I think that's really going to be determining this game. I think both quarterbacks are going to play really well. It's who can win the line of scrimmage.
Looking at you guys' team, you mentioned running the football. You have had a different leading rusher in each of your last 3 games. The expectation was that Dylan Edwards was going to have a big year. Injuries have kind of derailed that a little bit. How valuable has it been for your guys that even in the face of injuries with Dylan, you guys have been able to pick up the slack in the run game?
Yeah, it's really helped that Joe Jackson's come on and playing really good football. He had a good season last year, but came in as the backup to Dylan, and then got thrust into that number 1 role. And he's playing at a really high level right now. We've got a couple other younger players that are going to play some if Dylan can't. If Dylan can, then obviously it'll be Dylan and Joe. But if he can't, then we've got to have some young guys step up.
Right now, we're talking to the head coach of Kansas State, Chris Kleiman, here for a couple of more minutes. Coach, the last time you and I talked, we talked about just the Big 12 as a whole, and you were telling me how much you hated preseason polls and expectations just because of how things can fluctuate and the uncertainty around it. I look at this Big 12 right now. Every time I think I've got a handle on it, something changes. I thought Texas Tech was the best team in the league. They go on the road and they lose to Arizona State. We see a lot of parity in the National Football League this season. I'm seeing a lot of parity in college football, and especially in your conference, the Big 12 as well.
Yeah, it's across the landscape of college football. You're seeing a lot of parity, and I think that has to do with the transfer portal, with some of the revenue sharing and name, image, likeness. People are able to put some money into some players, and and maybe hitting on the right guys. You look at different programs that have been able to do that, but within the Big 12, I think if you'd ask any coach when we were at media days, you could have thrown it up for grabs, and there was 10 teams that probably could finish in the top 2 or 3, and that's kind of played out the way it is. Everybody thought Arizona State, and I think Arizona State's a really good team. They get beat, but they don't have their quarterback, and then they get Texas Tech, and they get them at home. So it's just going to be like this the whole season, and that's the unfortunate thing is it's harder to get 2 teams in that college football playoff if we're going to keep beating each other up.
Do you guys ever talk about the streak? Is that something that ever comes up?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't not talk about it. I think all the elephants in the room of a lot of things as you go through a season come up. And so absolutely our kids know about it. Maybe some of the new guys don't. And so you got to explain that a little bit. But it still comes down to who has the best team that year. And this is a brand new year. And they've got one of the best quarterbacks in the Big 12 that has a ton of game experience, and the moment's not going to be too big for Jalen, just like the moment's not going to be too big for Avery. So I think it's 2 great quarterbacks going at it, but somebody else is going to end up helping winning this game, whether it's somebody's O-line, D-line, special teams, somewhere in there.
I'll get you out of here with this last question. I always like hearing these stories. Who is the former player or coach who has come to speak to your guys about the importance of this rivalry? We always see those videos come out from the social media teams, and they're always fun to watch. Did you guys have Jordy Nelson come back, Darren Sproles? Who was that player to come back to talk about the importance of this game?
We didn't have anybody come back during this week. I think a guy that addressed our team that did a great job is Seth Porter. Seth played for us for 4 years, 5 years during my time here. He's now an assistant strength coach for us. His dad played in the game. I think Seth really captured it great for those younger players about how important it is. Even though Seth was from Texas, he became a K-Stater, and I think that was his message was really good to hear, not only from a new player standpoint, but from the older guys, that how important this game is to some of the guys that have already passed, done playing, that know how important this game is in the rivalry.
That is the head coach at Kansas State University, Chris Kleiman. You can catch their game against KU coming up on Saturday at 11 a.m. Coach, I know everybody here is excited about it. I am a neutral party. I'm not cheering for either side. I just want to see a good game.
I do too. I think it'll be a heck of a 4-quarter game.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Coach, really appreciate your time. Thanks a lot for popping on today.
Absolutely. Thanks.
For sure. That is the head coach of Kansas State, Chris Kleiman, joining us on the show. Rob, is that how you feel about this game? Are you expecting this to be a 4-quarter knockout, drag-out kind of game? I mean, the spread would suggest that. I think these two teams are fairly even. You haven't been able to say that in quite some time. You mentioned it earlier that Kansas has had a couple of opportunities to end this streak, and they've let them slip through. Are you expecting this to be a full 60-minute kind of game?
100%. This is a 4-quarter game. Like, I know that sounds stupid because all football games are 4 quarters, but let's be honest. The Chiefs and Raiders was not a 4-quarter game. That was a
4-minute game.
that was a one drive and then we're done kind of game.
You know what that game was? It was a Vine when it was over. That wasn't even a YouTube video. That was a Vine. How quickly that thing
I
over.
I expect 4 quarters of really good football. I also expect points. KU's defense leaks like a sieve, and K-State's defense has been spotty at times as well. So I expect points. So if you like offense, you're going to see a fun 60 minutes on Saturday in Lawrence.
Coming up on the other side, let's get back to the Kansas City Chiefs. It would appear that other teams have been inquiring about Christian Fulton, also have been inquiring about Joshua Williams. We'll talk about that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more.
I completely agree. You are worth more, and your car's worth more, and we want to pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com for good cars, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here, too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays hit different when you earn them. We've got you covered with outdoor power equipment from Cobalt and everything you need to weatherproof your deck with Trex decking. Plus, with lawn care from Scott's and, of course, Pit Boss grills and accessories, you can get a home field advantage all season long. So get to Lowe's, get it done, and earn your Sunday. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
20I southbound, pretty heavy from Front Street towards the Paseo, and then sluggish into downtown. Kansas side, 70 eastbound, slow from 110th Street to 435 with construction. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rashi Rice from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Usually, we'd be talking to Patrick Mahomes at this time. That has been moved to tomorrow. The Chiefs' schedule is a little bit different because of Monday Night Football. So we are going to have Patrick Mahomes come on the show tomorrow. Let's talk a little Chiefs here as we get you ready for Monday Night Football against the Commanders. So you guys know that right now I'm in the process of trying to figure out my next car situation. And I think I have it narrowed down to the car that I'm going to get. And Rob, one thing that I've learned is very, very important in all of this is got to read the Carfax. You go up there, you like a car. Hey, you got the Carfax. You go over them, you read them. I give them to my mechanic. Hey, what do you think? Ooh, I don't know about this one. Oh, this one has great service history. You got to read the Carfax. Rob, what do we know about Christian Fulton whenever Christian Fulton was a free agent? Did we know that Christian Fulton had knee issues? Didn't we know that? It's not like this just randomly popped up, something that was unforeseen. You knew that he had some injury issues. Now, the Chiefs believe that he was past the injury issues, that they were going to be able to figure it out and get him right. But what I think happened is I don't think He was healthy in the very beginning of the season, and I think by the time that he had gotten healthy, the Chiefs had just quite simply moved on from Christian Fulton. You obviously loved him at one point. You signed him to a 2-year, $20 million deal, but he couldn't participate in training camp. He couldn't participate in preseason games that gave you the opportunity to see more Noel Williams, more Jalen Watson. You got to play the safeties more, and I think he lost his job because of it. Right now, he is fully healthy to our understanding. He has not been limited in any one of these practices, hasn't popped up on the injury report. He's been healthy these last couple of weeks. They are making a choice to not play Christian Fulton at this point. I think he just got behind the 8 ball. I think other guys got an opportunity to showcase their ability. They like those players more than him. Yes, it's 2 years, $20 million, but we're not talking about this isn't a Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson kind of deal that you got to play him. And the Chiefs just seem fine and just eat the Christian Fulton money. I don't see how he gets back in the lineup if not for an injury. What would make him change? Not with the way they're playing right now, not with the way this defense is playing right now. If you haven't been playing so far, why would we think that you're about to now play on Monday Night Football or in a couple of weeks against the Buffalo Bills? I think he's outside their circle of trust. So if that's the case, it might be in their best interest to just get what you can get, or you keep him around and you kind of play it like what happened with Jalen Moore. Jalen Moore was not playing. Circumstances changed. You now need him. But if it's not for an injury, I don't know how Christian Fulton finds another pathway back onto the field.
Let me ask you this, because I understand the Jalen Moore situation happened, and he was a break glass in case of emergency, and because of whatever Josh Simmons is dealing with, it's personal. They had to break that glass, and Jalen Moore has been very good on the field. But outside of that example, do we have a lot of examples of the Chiefs or any team spent big on a high price, high, importance, positional value spot, and he rides pine, and the hope is, hey, maybe one day he's there in case we need him? That doesn't seem like great roster building to me. What you're describing is cornerback number 4, cornerback number 5. Well, Chris Roland Wallace type of player. There's nothing wrong with having that player on the roster. That player can't make $10 million a year to sit in street clothes and then, hey, if something terrible happens, we have you in case of emergency. That doesn't feel like great roster manipulation to me. So I understand what you're saying. Hey, let's keep him on the roster in case an emergency happens. I think that'd be silly to pay a guy $10 million to sit on the bench in case something terrible happens. So I'm a proponent of trading him and getting whatever back for him because, it feels like he plays in a valuable position. It feels like he's a guy who's healthy. It feels like it would make sense to get something back. But right now, he's doing nothing for you. And I don't know I like a $10 million guy doing nothing for you.
Yeah, but I guess where I would argue, though, is, at least for this year one, that money is already paid. That money's already paid. You gave him a $6 million signing bonus. That money's gone. You're never getting the $6 million back. So if you trade him tomorrow, you just spent $6 million on a player who played 17 snaps for you. I wish we all could be as fortunate in our life to hit the lotto the way that Christian Fulton hit. And so the way that his contract is structured, I'm looking it up right now. So he is guaranteed the signing bonus, all of his money this year, and $5 million of next year's salary. They locked themselves in to Christian Fulton. So at least for this season, let's get all of the signing bonus possibly. Let's get all of the compensation because you and I talk about it all the time. It's not a question of if you're going to deal with injuries. It's a question of when you're going to deal with injuries. One of your corners is going to get hurt. That's football. One of your players, your defensive lineman, like we saw with Omar Norman Lott, he got injured. You're going to have to deal with injuries at some point. All it takes is one twisted ankle. Now Jalen Watson misses a couple of games, and now you slide Christian Fulton back in there. If you liked Christian Fulton back in June, certainly enough to give him the money, and now he's fully healthy, I think you just keep him and you let's see what happens. Now, I think Joshua Williams is a little bit of a different conversation. They've drafted Joshua Williams 5 different times as an organization. If we want to talk about dime a dozen and their ability to replicate guys, that's not talking about players like Trent McDuffie to me. That's talking about players like Joshua Williams. You can go find another Joshua Williams in the draft. You really can. He's in the last year of his deal. I'm guessing you're not keeping him next season. So if you got rid of Joshua Williams, and you got a 5th-round pick, 6th-round pick for him, there's another team that's a little bit deficient when it comes to corner. You can get back some assets, and then you can use that to potentially go get what you want. Or next year in the draft, you can use that compensation to move up and get something that you really like. I'd be interested in that trade, but Christian Fulton is a player that I would keep. I don't know why you would move on from him if he's healthy.
Let me ask you this about Joshua Williams, because I can't get it pulled up in front of me real quick. What did they get for Rashad Fenton in a trade? Because remember, I believe it was right after the COVID year. Rashad Fenton, a name most Chiefs fans don't remember, but he was a fine corner for this team. They turned and burned him. They then got a pick.
You don't want to know. They got a conditional pick for him. Hold on, let me find out what it was.
Because that's the same as
they got a conditional 7th-round pick for him.
That's probably what Joshua Williams' value is.
You think Christian Fulton has a great value?
I think Christian Fulton has more value than that. Christian Fulton last year, look at Christian Fulton last year. We are 12 months removed from him being a productive NFL player, and now he's nothing.
Are you trading for Christian Fulton if you're another team? Because now we got to do the say it out loud test.
That's fair.
There's a team that gave you $6 million guaranteed, or $6 million signing bonus, $15 million guaranteed, and you can't get on the field. Steve Spagnuolo does not think that you can play. Because if they thought you could play, they'd put you in the rotation. We ain't talking about a quarterback or tight end where you're taking guys off the field. We're talking about a corner. You swap corners in and out all the time. He's been fully healthy, and he's been getting DMPs the last 2 weeks. I'm now giving you something of value to take on his contract and get that off the books for you when it's fully guaranteed this season? Especially when next year, if you're the Chiefs, you can just simply cut him and save a little bit of money. You're not saving a lot of money. You're saving $5 million against the cap. But, I mean, that's something. You're saving a little bit next year if you get rid of him. So I certainly hear what you're saying. Yes, I think that Christian Fulton is a better player. But one player right now is making peanuts, and you can just walk away at the end of the season. You can't just walk away from Christian Fulton at the end of the season, not if you're the team that's trading for him. The Chiefs can, but I'm not giving you value to take a bad contract off of your books and do your dirty work for you. Absolutely not if I'm a random team in the league.
Yes, that's totally fair. The say it out loud test. I just feel like Christian Fulton is a better player than Joshua Williams, so he would hold more value, but you're right. Why would I take this contract nightmare for a guy that has not played? And it wasn't like Christian Fulton contract was the most expensive cornerback contract doled out in free agency. You would presume if you're a team, you probably had a chance at Christian Fulton this offseason, and you might have said no, so why am I bailing out the Chiefs? You're right. It does not pass the say it out loud or the sniff test early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just guessing. I'm guessing if you're going to get rid of Christian Fulton, you got to be willing to eat some of the money, and you got to be willing to give him away for pennies on the dollar. You got to be willing to do that. And you could probably do that. Is there a team that would swap 6 with Kansas City if Kansas City's also willing to eat some of the money on the back half? Like, you paid for a car that you're upside down on. That's the analogy. You paid for a car that right now it ain't worth much if you were them. So you can either ride it out and try to get some value out of it, or you're going to have to potentially move on. I'm not surprised that teams are calling the Chiefs about a couple of their corners because it feels like they've really set in on their rotation of who they like. That's what it feels like. On defense, it feels like the Chiefs at this point, when it comes to their safety situation, when it comes to their corners and their linebackers, they seem completely set. Now, defensive line, I think we know that they're looking, and we can get to Jalen Phillips here coming up in a bit. But at corner, they do have a little bit of a surplus, and they certainly could help to lose somebody in that group. So somebody mentions, what about the Lions? The Lions would be a team, I'm guessing, called the Chiefs. We just saw you guys. We just saw these corners. You guys did a great job against our team. Hey, what about that guy that I saw on the sideline? He's not playing right now. What are you guys doing with that? I would assume the Lions are definitely one of those teams that have placed a call, have made a call about trying to figure out what's going to happen with those guys. Let's talk about Jalen Phillips. You like this move?
I would, yes. I would like this move.
What do you like about this move? Because to me, it just seems like this is a move that I've seen them make time and time again, and I don't really know if I've seen this move really work a lot for them on defense. I mean, this is a guy who's 26 years old, former first-round pick, hasn't really been super productive the last couple of seasons, that you're hoping you can shake the magic 8 ball and you can get a good answer from. He has 2 sacks this season. He has 11 tackles. I mean, he's been okay this season, but he's in the final year of a first-round deal. So we want to talk about money-wise. He ain't cheap. This is not trading for Joshua Williams, who was a mid-round draft pick who's in the final year of his deal. This is trading for a first-round pick, so his money is coming fully guaranteed. Now, maybe Miami is willing to pay some of that to get him off the books, but I'm also guessing that Jalen Phillips will have some kind of market for a 26-year-old pass rusher who has a little bit of ability. I just don't know if this player really moves the needle, but the point you and I were making yesterday when talking about this is, this is kind of either what you're looking for. You're either looking for a Jalen Phillips who's 26 years old and doesn't have a great history and track record, or you're looking for Calais Campbell, who definitely has a track record, but is also 39 years old and either in his last year in the league or his second to last year in the league.
I like this deal if it were to happen. I guess we should talk about it in the hypothetical because it's just a name being thrown out. It's not breaking news. It has happened. And I think one of the reasons I like it is it fits in with what Brett Veach likes to do, and it's low acquisition cost, and high upside. Jalen Phillips was once considered a top prospect in the draft. We have seen Brett Veach target what he thought were top prospects in the draft. I know everyone points to, the recent moves, but this is not a new thing. Like Mike Hughes, he did this. He did this with traded for Reggie Ragland. Like they do this a lot. You think, hey, we get into our system, our culture, we can get the most out of him because there was a time where on our draft board we thought he could be productive. He just hasn't been. And I also think the acquisition cost is going to be low because he's in the final year of his deal, and you don't have to re-sign him. You don't have to say, we got him and now we're locking him up long term. You can add him and be like, ugh, it wasn't for me, and eject at the end of the year. I know the Joshua Uche thing did not work. I don't know why it didn't work. I don't know if it was Spags. I don't know if it was Uche. I don't know if it was...
I don't know if he's a consistent NFL player.
It could be any number of things, but it didn't work. But conceptually, that is a move that I love the Chiefs making. They gave up at the time for Uche a 6th-round pick for a guy that they felt could be a rotational pass rusher and they might be able to get the most out of. They didn't. It didn't work. But that's probably what we're looking at with Jalen Phillips, too. Maybe it's a 5th-round pick. Maybe it's a conditional 6 that turns into a 5th. Maybe there's, some maneuvering around. But this is not a break the bank. This is not a, oh, man, you got to give up a day 2 pick. This is not a, hey, there's a contract on the backside. It's none of that. It's, we think our system can get the most out of you. We're willing to take that shot. And the acquisition cost is low, which is important for a team that, let's be honest, as the Chiefs are entering phase 2 or maybe phase 3 of their dynasty, contracts make it tough to, spend money at every single position. So draft picks are of the utmost importance. And you don't mind giving up a 6th for a player that can help you in the now because it's low acquisition cost.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit worried about Jalen Phillips for this reason. In 2023, his season ended because he tore his Achilles. He got back from a torn Achilles. His season ended in 2024 because he tore his ACL. And just the injury history is there.
Let me ask you this, though. Didn't that injury history exist with DeAndre Hopkins? They made that trade last year, no problem. Hopkins is a better player. I get that. But Hopkins had injury issue, and they looked past it to add him.
Yeah, and I guess I would just also argue that I don't really think DeAndre Hopkins really moved the needle that much for the Kansas City Chiefs. It sounded really good. I think we all just kind of put up with this is going okay, but it's going to be a big plus in the postseason. It wasn't a big plus in the postseason, and everybody was just happy to move on from that scenario. And you're right. I also think that Hopkins, what Hopkins I think potentially could provide, I think is just more than what Jalen Phillips would provide for you.
That's 100% fair. I'm just saying, injury history has not scared the Chiefs off in the past. Again, this is a fine analogy. Kadarius Toney had injury history, and they targeted him at the trade deadline and went out and got him. And you were here when that happened. People didn't say, oh, you got to watch out for the injury history. It was all upside all the time. So I don't think injury history scares the Chiefs off the deadline the way it does some people. He definitely has injury history, but I don't think it's a, red mark, you can't trade for him thing in the Chiefs' mind the way it is in some fans' minds.
Yeah, I also think, and I guess to your point, I think you got to be realistic about the kind of player you're going to acquire at this point in the season. You're not acquiring the perfect prospect. That guy just doesn't exist. That guy exists potentially in free agency, overspend, whatever it is. You can find potentially what you're looking for in free agency. Really good players that can help playoff teams, there's not an abundance of those guys that we think are going to get traded here coming up in a couple of weeks. There's probably going to be, 2 or 3 of those players that move teams. And I also feel like the trade deadline is kind of one of those things that we always float out these names and teams end up making it. And then in the end, when we kind of look back, we're like, that trade was a whole lot of nothing. It sounded good. It felt good, but it didn't really end up to anything. I don't have a serious problem with Jalen Phillips if we're talking about a 5th round or lower. Now, it's a lot of money, I guess, for a rental piece, but we're talking about $5 million, and you have the ability to get out at the end of the season. And if you think he can fit the rotation, but what my fear would be is they did this last year with Joshua Uche, where they traded a 6th-round pick. We all went on his Pro Football Reference page. He had 11.5 sacks. We're thinking change of scenery. You put him in Spags' defense. It's going to work. And it was almost like they traded for a player that they didn't actually like because he could never, ever see the field, and we don't think he fit their scheme. So if you're going to trade for Jalen Phillips, great, but you're telling me you need defensive line help. Are they actually going to play him on the defensive line, and they're actually going to let him be the help? Because they didn't let that happen last year with Joshua Uche.
I mean, I feel like that's a question that me and you cannot answer. I think it's a fair complaint because on the surface, the Uche trade looked really good. It looked smart. Like it was everything that was supposed to work. It just didn't. But that feels like it's on the coaching staff and the GM and the personnel department to understand and work hand in hand. Like, that's just something the media can't answer. Like, if you're Brett Veach and you love Jalen Phillips and you go down to Spags' office or who's the D-line coach, Joe Cullen's office, and they say, I don't see it, you don't trade for him. I don't know what the deal with Uche was. It just didn't ever seem to work. On the surface, it made sense. It just never seemed to work.
I want to play this audio for you guys because it was announced that Jaden Daniels is not going to start on Monday night and Marcus Mariota is going to start. And it reminded me of, quite possibly, the worst call in the history of the National Football League.
Mariota flattened. Back at the 30-yard line, the ball on the ground. Derek Johnson at 35.
I have no idea how they blocked him. I have no idea what Derrick Henry is looking at, and that's where you miss DeMarco Murray. You blow a pickup against Derek Johnson, and you're going to pay for it.
They ruled Mariota down.
I still, for the life of me, I don't understand. I don't get the logic behind it. I don't know how the Marcus Mariota sack in the playoffs was considered to be a forward progress. I also don't understand how, with all the videos that we have and all the stoppages of play that we have to look at things and slow things down and ability to tell the officials, hold on, I think you guys made a mistake. I don't know how such an egregious error could happen in a playoff game and nobody had the ability to just, hold on, stop it. This is incorrect. We need to rule differently about it. He's standing in the pocket, gets hit, fumbled the ball, and the defense picks it up. It is textbook scoop and potential score. Forward progress still doesn't make any sense to me. That was the TV call of the play. Let's hear Mitch hold this. I haven't heard this in a long time.
Good snap back to Mariota. Big pressured. He is absolutely leveled. Now the ball comes out late. He is hit and dropped back at the 32-yard line. Derek Johnson came on the blitz and decleats Mariota. They say that he was down by contact before the football came out, and DJ came in a furious blitz, and Mariota goes down on a big loss back to his own 31.
I'm not joking. I think that's quite possibly the worst call that I've ever seen. I think the pass interference in the Saints and Rams is just a missed call. I think it's a missed call. I know we've seen the play a million times and the ref's got to be on that. I'm not excusing it. But I could understand how when both players are moving really quickly and it's a bang-bang play, I can understand how you just miss a pass interference. That's understandable to me. Or in real time, it looks like it was a bang-bang play, but then when you slow it down, it actually, in fact, was not a bang-bang play. I will never understand how you can look at that play and consider it forward progress. I'll never understand. And then the text lines also reminded me that the ref, I believe it was Jeff Triplett, immediately retired after the game. Where's the Netflix documentary on that? Because something seems very suspicious. Super questionable call, and then you get out the game immediately after? I don't know, man. Sound like first-team FanDuel to me.
Listen, it was a terrible call, but it is absolutely not the reason why the Chiefs lost that game. It's awful, but the Chiefs were up 14-0 at that point, and they were going to hold the Titans to a field goal. This was pre-Mahomes, Andy Reid found a way to blow games like this a lot.
But I don't know if you can say that, because if you're up 14-0, you get a big sack at home that energizes your crowd. They then lose possession of the ball and you have it. It completely changes the context of the game in that scenario if you end up making that play. Completely changes it in that scenario. Your crowd's into it. Your defense is fired up. Now, you take away what is an obvious sack. You now got to flip things, and now the offense still has the ball. Yeah, you feel like in that scenario, to use a baseball analogy, that's like when you got a pop-up right there in front of you, you drop it. Yeah, it's still 1 out in the inning, but it's just the mental of, man, we thought we ended this thing. We thought, and no, that's not what happened. It's honestly, it's quite possibly the worst call that I've ever seen in sports. It's bad. It's really, really bad. Coming up in about 20 minutes, Jay Binkley's going to join us in studio. That's a lot to talk to Binkley about. A lot of NFL news. College football is heating up as well. Well, I should talk about college here coming up in just a bit, and something that I've noticed around the sport when it comes to coaching and culture. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Hey Kansas City, this is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect, our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. Today I'm here to tell you about an exciting offer for the remainder of the month. While supplies last, Victory is offering 3 ways to save on all remaining 2025 Ram half-tons, the winner of the coveted Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Here's how it works. You get to pick from 3 great offers like $5,000 off and 0% for 72 months on all remaining 2025 Ram 1500s, or $11,000 off and 3.9% for 72 months, or an astonishing $16,000 off with standard financing. Folks, it's no secret, it's been the same for years. The best time to buy a new pickup truck is during the model year-end closeout. Business owners, come see us today and ask about additional year-end savings from Ram exclusively for you. Supplies are dwindling fast, so hurry in and take advantage of this offer. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Schedule your home improvement project while the weather is still nice with Powell Exteriors KC. They offer easy financing, pay no interest until 2027, a 10-year workmanship warranty, and their extended summer sale. PowellExteriorsKC.com. The power of KC is Powell Exteriors KC.
You could be on the 50 at GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Enter to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
BetMGM is inviting you to charge the field this pro football season. Existing BetMGM customers can have a ball without having to sweat. Log into your account to get a pro football no sweat token. Apply the token to your next pro football bet. If you lose with the token attached, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets. That's right, with a no sweat token, you get your stake back in bonus bets if you don't win. There's nothing like a fresh set of downs. And that's just what BetMGM is offering if you don't win with a no-sweat token. Find your favorite matchup and be part of the action. Make this pro football season one for the ages. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Century Roofing remains the best roofing company to call for insurance claims from storm damage, roof repair, and inspections throughout Kansas City. They were just voted as both the best roofing company in Johnson County for the 4th straight year and the best roofing company in all of Kansas City by readers of the Johnson County Post and the KC Star. So trust the pillars of strength and go with locally owned and female-owned Century Roofing at CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
At Metal by the Foot, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality metal to meet your exact needs. Located in Casey and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by KC Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase this Thursday, tomorrow, October 23rd at J. Rieger and Company Distillery. We've got the crash. That is downtown, and it is 9 Highway southbound just past West 10th Avenue. Right lane is blocked. And you've got 49 southbound at 150 Highway, right lane blocked there. Discover the latest HVAC plumbing and trade solutions with companies like A.O. Smith and 20 others at the KC Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase, and it is tomorrow, October 23rd, 3 to 6 at J. Rieger and Company Distillery. Enjoy complimentary food, drinks, tours, prizes, and networking. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, I'm going to call audible here. I want to talk about something different. I apologize. Binkley's going to join us here in just a bit. I just saw this story, and I had never seen this story. I had never heard of this story. I imagine that many of you had never heard this story. It is hard to kind of catch me off guard in 2025 with the college story, like a college basketball, college football story, because I don't really know what the rules are, but I at least thought this would have been a rule. So, Rob, you remember the kid Tyon Grant Foster. Went to Slagle. I believe he started his career at KU. He then transferred to DePaul. He then was at Grand Canyon University. He's trying to play right now at Gonzaga. He is ineligible in Gonzaga. They're trying to figure things out. there was a part of me that was like, the kid's 25 years old. The kid has played in 4 different seasons. Like, college basketball should just be up. You should just go be a pro. But I saw a lot of people, and people that I have a lot of respect for, Jay Billis, really advocating for this kid, so I kind of stayed out of it. I didn't know this story. Rob, have you heard this story about this kid that's on Louisville? Have you heard this story?
Actually, Speck and me were talking about this morning. Yes, I'm aware of this kid who's on Louisville. Or
I
they're
didn't know,
trying to get on Louisville.
You didn't tell me this story. I had never heard this. So for you guys that don't know what we're talking about, there's a kid right now at the University of Louisville. His name is London Johnson. London Johnson has been deemed eligible to play college basketball. London Johnson, his graduating class was in 2022. He then didn't go to college. He went to the G League. He played in the G League for the last 3 seasons. He now is eligible to play college basketball. He can't play until semester. We've seen that before, so he can play in December. I don't know when the semester ends for Louisville. He can play the remainder of this season. He also has 2 years of eligibility after this year. So he has 2.5 seasons left of college basketball. Now, I'm not here to take opportunities away from young people. I'm really not in the business of doing that. But if you decide to bypass college basketball to go play in the G League, that makes you a professional basketball player. By definition, you are a professional basketball player. And nothing wrong with being a professional basketball player. But you now make yourself ineligible to play college basketball. Now, maybe the argument is they are professional basketball players now, which I can't really disagree with you. But just what are the rules now at this point? What is the difference? You can go try to be an NBA player, fail in your attempt in being an NBA player, and then you can just now go to Kansas or go to Louisville or go to Duke. Who's stopping you from going overseas then if that's the case? Could you go overseas and play in the EuroLeague and then now come play college basketball? Is that possible? Could Victor Wembanyama had just gone to, what are we doing here? You're a professional basketball player. Are we now just accepting that this is just a professional league? So we are now watching NBA Junior, if that's the case. I hate the NBA. Well, you watch the NBA. Everybody on the court's getting paid. Is that what we just accepted what college basketball is now?
I really
I don't even know how this is possible, to be completely honest with you. I don't know how you can bypass college to go to G League. You tried to make the NBA. You failed in making the NBA, and now we give you a do-over. You can play college basketball? What are we doing?
My assumption is, and I don't know the rules, my assumption is there's probably a loophole that exists because there are European players that were pros in Europe that then come over and play basketball collegially in the United States. Like the kid KU couldn't get, he's an Italian player at Duke, Sar. I think his name's Sar. He was a guy who played professional basketball, albeit the junior circuit, but he played professional basketball in Italy, and then he came over, now he's at Duke this season. I imagine that loophole is where this guy exists.
I'm
I
not
don't
trying
like
to be
this
funny.
rule, but
I'm honestly not trying to be funny. What would then make you ineligible to play college basketball? Could LeBron play college basketball?
I mean, I honestly don't know.
Could Russ, who can play, if you just skipped college altogether and you've just been a pro for the last couple of years, could LeBron just now say, I want to go play basketball at Ohio State University? Is that possible? I'm not even trying to be funny. Is that possible now? Because he's been a pro.
I don't know, because presumably he would have college eligibility left.
He has all 4 years of college eligibility left.
But like,
can he just say, well, you know what? I wanted to play with all of my kids. I'm going to go play with them now.
Does that mean that does this loophole create a
This is
world
stupid. Can we just admit this is stupid?
Very stupid. Like, can Luka Doncic decide, you know what? I'm going to Arizona next year.
Yeah, I want to go play at Kansas. I want to go play at Duke. This is silly. Someone says you get 4 years of college eligibility. You should be able to use them whenever you want. But I'm arguing the moment that you sign up to a professional league, that should just void your college eligibility. That's what it used to be. I don't care what game you play. It has to have rules. There's no rules in college basketball. There's none. You can't go play in the G League for 3 years and then just pop up on a college campus and have 3 years of eligibility left. What are we doing here? Come on now. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care what school you go to. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. We got to start figuring out some rules for college basketball. College football, it's a little bit different because the NFL won't take you and there's nowhere else for you to play basketball or football professionally. There's a bunch of places for you to play basketball professionally. If you go be a pro somewhere else, you cannot come join our league. We got to start establishing something. I do want to ask you this question really quickly. Binkley's about to join us in studio. Today is Big 12 Media Day. Kelvin Sampson was being interviewed, and he said that he believes that KU is still the bell cow of the Big 12. Rob, do you still believe this about KU? Because the last couple of years, they have not been the best team in the league. They have the number one prospect, number one player, and all of the coaches voted them 7th in their league. Do you still feel like KU's the bell cow of the Big 12?
Yes. Absolutely 100% yes. I think that by television ratings and revenue driven, like as good as Houston's been and as good as BYU is supposed to be this year, if you're a college basketball fan, if you're a K-State fan, if you're an Iowa State fan listening, if you're an Oklahoma State fan listening, you don't care those schools are coming to your gym. You care Kansas is coming to your gym. You're going to be on real TV because Kansas exists. So yes, first and foremost, because of the financials, I do believe that. And as long as they have Bill Self, they are going to be the bell cow of the Big 12. Now, maybe if Bill Self retires and, you've seen North Carolina fall off after Roy retired, it changes. But, yes, they are still the bell cow of the Big 12 to this date.
Yeah, someone on the text line asked, why this matters. I feel like this is a part of it, and maybe just people just don't care in this scenario. Like, maybe people just don't care. This ultimately ends up hurting high school kids. To me, that's the real trickle-down effect. I don't know why you would ever recruit a high school senior anymore. Unless you were getting Darren Peterson, unless you're getting Cameron Boozer, I don't know why you would recruit a high school kid. Like, this ultimately ends up hurting kids like Christian Brown. Like, I don't know if Kansas takes Christian Brown in 2025. I think they take him on the transfer portal. I think Christian Brown has to go to another college. I think he balls out at that college, and then KU takes him as a transfer when he's a junior. I don't know if you can take Christian Brown in 2025. You would just take a 24-year-old that played on 3 different schools that's just a more mature basketball player, and you would take him. Ultimately, this hurts high school kids. It's a trickle-down effect. If now you not only got to compete with the other kids that are in your class, you basically got to compete with every basketball player in the world. What are we doing now? I thought this whole thing was about creating opportunities for kids. That's not what we're doing now. This kid, the guy that I'm talking about, I don't mean any disrespect for him. He's 25 years old. He's still trying to play college basketball after he's played 4 years. Bro, you got to go be a pro somewhere. Go overseas. Go ball out. Go try to make it to the league. Why don't you go to Summer League? We're arguing you should be able to play at Gonzaga. Stop it. Go be a pro. Coming up on the other side, Binkley's going to join us in studio. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Metal by the Foot. You've got a crash 49 southbound at Red Bridge. 2 right lanes are blocked. Continue down 49 northbound at 140th. That's a stall. And then 49 southbound at 150 Highway, right lane blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, folks, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Many men remember their first time. Not that first time. I'm talking about the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined that special moment. And if you're over 50, then the chances are then you've experienced this before. That first time can be frustrating. It can be a little bit embarrassing. But here's the good news. At Heartland Men's Health, that first time can also be the last time. Heartland Men's Health specializes in treating ED when the pills and herbals fail. With a success rate of over 90%, many men see results just after one visit. So your first visit is just $99, which includes a consult, lab work, and if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. So don't let ED define your sex life. Call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. You can also stop by and visit any of the 3 area locations, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Be sure to stop by Heartland Men's Health.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Renner Garage Door has proudly served our community for decades. The best styles, technology, and family values. That's Renner. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
This is Dana Hughes. In Kansas City football, we honor tradition, but we always look forward to what's next. That's why I'm all in for Flight by Yingling. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, but built for today. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp, clean, and full of flavor, just the way a light beer should be. It's got the legacy and the stats to back it up. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Dana Hughes. D.G. Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Looking to drive your finances downfield? Main Street Credit Union is the hometown team you can trust. We help you build credit, lower monthly expenses, and finance with confidence. Or if you need a loan to grow your small business, we've got flexible options and no hidden fees. At Main Street, it's not just about the win, it's about keeping Kansas City moving forward. One goal, 1 yard, one member at a time. Get in the game at mainstreetcu.org.
Things are getting spooky in South Kansas City, but the deals at Rob Sight Ford, they're scary good. Rob Sight is with me. Hey, Rob, what's haunting the lot this month?
No tricks, just treats. From Broncos to Explorers to F-150s and commercial vehicles, we've got the inventory, the selection, and the lowest prices in Kansas City.
And no creepy sales tactics, just non-commissioned staff and real value.
Exactly. And while we're on the scary stuff, Kevin, your brisket from last weekend still haunts me.
Okay, dry rub shouldn't actually mean dry.
But here's the real flavor. KC's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google, 4.8 stars with nearly 3,000 reviews. Voted best car dealership in KC by Kansas City Magazine.
If you want simple, upfront, and easy, Rob Sight Ford is the treat you've been looking for. Visit 135th and State Line and buy right with Rob Sight.
Rob Sight Ford, ROBSIGHT.com. And Kevin, leave the cooking to us this Halloween.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure what the best option is? Selling a home, especially when dealing with foreclosure, divorce, job relocation, or an inherited property, can feel overwhelming. That's why I don't just make offers. I help homeowners understand all their options so they can make the right choice with no pressure and no obligation. I'm Rex, a local homebuyer and resident right here in Kansas City. Whether you're looking for a fast cash sale or just want to explore your choices, I'll walk you through the pros and cons of selling to me or listing with an agent. If selling directly is your best move, I'll offer you a fair cash price and a closing timeline that fits your needs in as little as 7 days or on your schedule. No repairs, no commissions, no hidden fees. Just a transparent, hassle-free process so you know exactly what to expect. Let's talk. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com for a free, no-pressure consultation. Rex Buys KC, helping homeowners make informed decisions with confidence.
Listen to the Chiefs and Commanders on Monday night with pregame starting at 4, kickoff at 7:15 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station.
We got Binkley in studio. Binkley, how you doing, my friend, man? It's good to see you, man.
Carrington, Rob, how we doing, my friends?
A lot to get into, man. Let's start with the Chiefs. I want to get your opinion on a couple of players. I want to get your opinion on Sunday's beatdown. Have you seen a team dominate another team at the professional level the way that we're talking about?
No.
The analogy that I've been using is it felt like an August game between Ohio State and Akron. That's what it was like. For you to have 30 plays for 95 yards to only get 2 first downs, 1 first down was because of penalty. So, like, just everything that could go wrong did go wrong for the Raiders. They got dominated in every single facet of the game. Can you remember a team at this level, the NFL, they got dominated like we've seen the Raiders?
I haven't seen it. The Raiders are a weird team. You know, they beat the Patriots in week 1, like in New England. That's crazy. The Raiders went to New England and won a game. I still can't believe that.
I was optimistic about the Raiders.
But that's why week 1 is a fool's gold, week 1. Because week 1, teams lose that are a good team, and teams win that suck. And obviously the Raiders beating the Patriots in New England is a big difference. And they were pasted by Indianapolis 40-6 this year. That game was at Indy. Then they turned around and beat the Titans. That's not a great win. It's the Titans. They suck. But we're talking about NFL players. I mean, they're all pro players. That's the best of the best. Even if they are the Raiders, to get completely dominated like that. It's not like the Chiefs at 85 Bears. It's not like they're the 2000 Ravens. They're 2025 Chiefs, and they completely and utterly had them crying. But again, this is what the Raiders get. They're dumb in what they do. They never have a rhyme or reason. And, you know, Tom Brady's there to try to fix things or whatever. But the Raiders, like the Chargers, decided to use our first-round picks on running backs. Again, how does that stop Mahomes? I'll ask that question again. This team in Kansas City's won 9 straight divisions. So the Raiders spend their first round pick. Listen, I love Usher and Jenny. I love that. But the Raiders need so much more than a running back. And the Chargers need so much more than Amari Hampton. It's just weird that you have a team in your division with 9 straight titles and you go and draft running backs in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the problem for the Raiders is just, I mean, they missed on what we thought their foundation was going to be. Why you were optimistic about the Raiders, and I was coming into the season, was Geno was just a very steadying hand at quarterback. He has been anything but. I thought that Ashton Jeanty had a chance to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's not close to being in that conversation.
He should be, but that line sucks.
You and I were talking about Brock Bowers. He's one of the best tight end prospects we've seen in quite some time. He's been hurt for most of the season. So kind of what I thought the Raiders could potentially build their foundation on and having one of the better offenses in the league with Geno, Jeanty, and Bowers, none of those things have worked out for them.
And you have a coach where that quarterback worked with and said success with in Seattle. Pete Carroll's no joke. The guy's won twice at the college level. He's won once at the pro level. And if Russell Wilson doesn't throw an interception to the Patriots, Tom Brady has one less ring. And then Seattle has yet another ring for Pete Carroll in the pros. So, yeah, it's an accomplished head coach, and I'm shocked at the way they played. That was embarrassing.
You think Pete's coming back next year? Because I could definitely see a scenario in which Pete decides to stay home with his family.
I could see him moving on. He seems to be young in spirit, though. He's spry for his age, and I know they believe in him because he's won before, but you go out and have, games like that. Now, guys look to be traded that you never expect to be traded, and I'm not expecting them to trade Max Crosby, and they shouldn't trade Max Crosby. It sucks that a talent like that is wasting away with the Raiders. But we're talking about a team that made the playoffs a couple years ago. We're talking about a team that fired Josh McDaniels after going 3-5. And then Antonio Pierce comes in and goes 5-4. Guess what? That cost them draft picks. Josh DeBow with AP put it on Twitter, and he's absolutely right because he keeps saying this. This is why I don't advocate for firing coaches if you want to tank, if you want to suck, because the Raiders were in line for a good draft pick. Hell, they could have gotten Drake May. But no. They had to hire Antonio Pierce. The team played hard for him. He wins 5 games. See, that's dumb. You should just kept, if McDaniels is bad, just let him ride it out, man. Just let him ride it out and get that draft pick because you know what? A Drake May makes a big difference to your team.
I think this is the best the Chiefs have looked in 4 years. I mean, just like right now at this exact point, if I'm talking about how complete I think their offense is, the way that their defense is playing right now, I think this is the best version of the Chiefs we've seen since 2021. Rob and I actually think that's the best Chiefs team we've seen during this era. You remember, they ran through the regular season, so much to the fact we were asking if the Chiefs were bored in the regular season back in 2021. I think this little 4-week stretch with this offense, with the way their defense is playing, I think this is the best they've looked in 4 years.
I think you guys are right if you go back to there. I've been saying that I think they're better than 24. I would take the 25 team over the 24 team.
I don't think it's that close right now.
On a neutral field, 100 days a year, just 100 out of 100, I'd pick the 25 Chiefs over the 24 Chiefs. And that was a team that won a division by 4 games from a division that had 3 teams in the playoffs and a team that went to the Super Bowl. So, yes, I take the 25 Chiefs over the 24 Chiefs. They're built all around. They're top 5 in offense and defense. I mean, this is exactly where the Chiefs want to be. It's not, being top offensive team when Mahomes first started playing and be, last in scoring defense. We've seen them with the Chiefs. To be top 5 in both, when before, last couple of years they've been good in defense, which is much better than 15th in points per game the last 2 years. And to be top 5 in both at this point, I mean, that's an incredible testimony to this team and the creativity they're showing.
I think a major reason, at least why I feel the way that I feel, is I just think that this Chiefs offense has a chance to shut the door that I don't think last year's team had. I think last year's offense left the door open a lot last year, where they would get the ball back. The offense is up 7. You go down the field, you put a drive together, you can go up 14, and you can send everybody home. I don't think the Chiefs put too many of those drives together. I do think that this year's team has the ability to do that. I'm looking at their offense right now, and I don't really know what you take away. You try to take away Kelsey. You got Rice and Worthy on the other side. You try to take away Rice. You got Worthy on the other side. Like, I'm looking at an offense now that I think can really attack from all angles. I don't think last year's offense could do that.
I don't think so either. And Rashee Rice, when healthy, he does a lot of the same things Kelsey does, even though they're different positions, but they run a lot of the dirty routes, across the middle. Rice isn't one of these, flashy, over-the-top speed. He's fast, but he doesn't have the speed near the speed that Thornton does or Worthy does or Hollywood Brown does. I mean, he's, kind of a middle-of-the-pack speed receiver, but he's got incredible hands, and he runs incredible routes. He's great yards after catch, and that's what the Chiefs are. I remember Mahomes' first year when he was in Kansas City, and they were asking him questions. He's like, yeah, my job is just to kind of put the ball in the hands of my playmakers, let them make plays. I mean, it's as simple as that, but it's what he does. Just get the ball in their hands and let them make plays. But you have to have special players to do that. And I've seen better yards after catch from Hollywood Brown this year because he's usually catch and go straight down. We've seen him actually break some tackles and go forward. Kelsey's breaking a lot of tackles. Hell, in the Lions game, he had 4 missed tackles. He had 5 all of last year, and he had 4 just in that game. And Rice is certainly one of those guys. But them doing creative things, and I know that play's getting a lot of attention where Mahomes is trying to draw him off sides, and he looks to the sideline like this, hey, this isn't working, and he runs that fake with that Maryland T they were doing. Well, on the goal line, where they actually scored a touchdown, it's when they went back and did the single wing. Now, it's not talked about because there was an offsides by Mike Caliendo, so the play didn't count. But that was an easy touchdown run for the Chiefs because it was Mahomes in a 3-point stance and Gardner Minshew in a 3-point stance, like the old single wing. Now, you'll see that again with Minshew and Mahomes because that was just a simple variation as a pump pass there for Minshew, but they'll see him spin around. Like a true single wing, they'll spin around. And so Mahomes and Gardner Minshew will do that at some point. That's a different variation of what they ran on the goal line. I mean, they're just doing creative things and having fun. And not only that, but they always do it against the Raiders, which is funny because they try to experiment. Like, hey, we're playing the Raiders. Let's go ahead and throw this crap in.
Right now, we're joined in studio by Jay Binkley. He's joining us for the 4 o'clock hour. We'll talk some college as well. Missouri has a big game this weekend. KU and K-State both play each other this weekend as well. Let's talk about Christian Fulton. He has been a healthy DMP for each of the last 2 weeks. What do you think is going on there? Because this is my theory. I think he just kind of got behind the 8 ball. He wasn't available in training camp. He wasn't available in preseason. Those snaps are now going to somebody else. You dealt with an injury at the very beginning of the season. Now other guys have just kind of taken your spot. You're getting paid. You made good money in the offseason. But now I think the defense is kind of settled in with who they like, who they trust, and who they're moving forward with. And I'm not really sure if he's in the huddle. I think aside from an injury, I don't really see how Christian Fulton gets back on the field.
You're 100% right on that. And Andy Reid is truly a you can't meet the club in the tub guy. Because you always hear that, except for a Mahomes, except for a Chris Jones, except for a Kelsey. Like, he's big on that. He's big on guys that are practicing, just like, through the years. If you're not practicing on Friday, that's why we always wait to see the injury report on Friday, right? Who practiced? Who's practicing on Friday? Because there's been very few people that haven't practiced on Friday that end up playing on Sunday. Now, it has happened with guys like Chris Jones and whatever, but sometimes if it's going to be a Hall of Famer, you're like, do whatever. It's kind of like Lawrence Taylor treatment with the New York Giants. But typically, Andy Reid is, if you're not out there helping produce, we're not going to play you. And last year we saw, Jalen Watson go ahead of Josh Williams. I thought Josh Williams may have the upper hand on Watson, but that's clearly not been the case. Watson's been the better player. And I think Noel Williams has really surprised him with his physicalness, how good he is at sticking to receivers, and his playmaking ability on defense. And I think that's been a real surprise to him. I mean, the Chiefs are the best corner since the Jerry Sneed, in my opinion. Yes, Trent McDuffie's a great cover corner and all that, but I'm saying all-around toughness type of dude was Legarius. This is a Legarius Sneed that actually practices.
Yeah, I'm looking at right now the defensive snap counts, and I'm really big on snap counts and who's on the field and who's not on the field. I mean, I would have never had guessed what's happened with Christian Fulton. I mean, these are the only players who have played fewer snaps this season than Christian Fulton. Joshua Williams, who is a player right now whose name's being thrown out there. Williams clearly outside the huddle when just talking about in terms of the rotation when it comes
and by the way, I'm surprised he wasn't traded at the end of training camp. I thought really before they set the roster, he was going to be that one guy that they moved. Because he can't get any more than a 6th or 7th round pick for Williams. If you can get that. Because Chiefs have 5 picks right now. They don't have a 6th. They don't have a 7th. They were in the trades.
I'm not giving you anything for Joshua Williams.
So they have 6 picks because they have 2 4th rounders. But yes, Yeah, I wouldn't do it either, but I do feel that he was on the trade market right there before they set the roster. I really felt they wanted to deal him.
I guess actually I'll clarify with this. If I'm going to trade for Joshua Williams, I'm interested in a flip. I'm interested in you got a 6, we've got a 6, let's swap. We keep our pick, we move down a little bit, but we pick up a player. I mean, we're talking about a guy that you don't think can make your rotation, basically a special teams. Like, you kind of have to be in a dire situation to trade for Joshua.
And the Chiefs don't have those late-round picks to flip because they've used them.
Like, you'd have to be the Lions to me to trade for John. Like, you'd have to be really, really injury deficient right now on the back half of the defense to be scouring to go get Joshua Williams.
Yeah, the Chiefs don't need pick swaps at this point. They actually need picks.
But I'm looking at, like, the guys that Fulton has played more than. It's Jeffrey Bassa, Malik Herring, and Cooper McDonald. Those are the only defensive players that he's played so far with. Like, that's the group. Like, Jack Cochran has played more defensive snaps than Christian Fulton. This is the guy that you gave 2 years, $20 million to, guaranteed his signing bonus and his contract this year and $5 million next year. They made a significant investment in Christian Fulton for him to not be on the field.
No, I'm with you, and I was excited when they made the move. I know he's often injured, but you kind of got to put that aside and hope things change. Like, that's always the hope. You bring in a guy that's injured often, and you hope it changes. But oftentimes when you're new to a team, it's not like he's been here 3 and 4 years and has built up Andy Reid's trust. He's got to earn it, man. I don't care how much money you make and who you get. It's a good thing about Andy Reid. He literally doesn't care what kind of money you made, what round you were picked. And I always appreciate that from a coach that'll do that kind of stuff. He's got to earn his trust, and he just never did it at this point and doesn't fit in really to the scheme. I mean, I've always liked the guy when he's played.
Right now, we're joined in studio by Jay Binkley here, going through the Chiefs. We'll get to college football here coming up in just a little bit. Let's go through some of the defensive line options that are out there. Someone on the text line threw out Calais Campbell as a possibility. It would make sense to me.
I actually like that one.
Older veteran player on a 1-year deal. Team's not going anywhere. Would he be interested in accepting a trade, going to somewhere for the final 8-9 weeks of the season, potentially helping out? Jalen Phillips is also a name that's been thrown out there. He's on the last year of a rookie contract, a first-round deal, so this year's fully guaranteed for him. That kind of me seems like the Veach special. He's a guy who's dealt with injuries before, but obviously a guy who tested very well, was drafted very well, a good prospect coming out of college, just hasn't really turned into the player people thought. A lot of that's been due to injury. He tore his Achilles 2 years ago, tore his ACL last year.
I like Calais Campbell a lot in the situation. I know he's 39, but he's got 5 sacks. To me, he's a more productive player even than Jalen Phillips at Jalen Phillips' age. And Jalen Phillips had a hard time staying on the field. He was great as a rookie. I mean, this guy was getting Defensive Rookie of the Year consideration, everything. He had those 8.5 sacks his rookie year when he came out of UCLA. But then he's been hampered by injuries the last couple of years. And, well, that's okay for a short-term rental, but you got to play, man. You got to be consistent, be on that field. Andy Reid's got to trust that you're going to be on the field. And Jalen's had a productive year. Calais is perfect for me because of his age, and it's not a long-term contract. It's just bringing him in. He knows the deal. He's here through the playoff run. He's a Terrell Suggs. He's a Melvin Ingram. He's whatever. You bring in a veteran, which this clubhouse is really structured. It's not whimsy like it would fall. It's not made of bamboo. It's made of concrete. You know, you bring a guy in, it's a solid foundation of a clubhouse. But this is a good clubhouse guy. Remember Terrell Suggs came in here and they all started taking notepads like he did? Yeah. And this is a more productive version of Terrell Suggs. So I do like Campbell a lot.
I don't know why the Chiefs just didn't go get one of these players from the very, very beginning. I mean, you could have got Calais Campbell at the very beginning of the season for a $5 million deal. Now, maybe he just wanted to be somewhere it's warm. Maybe he's got family there. I don't know all his backstory. But, I mean, you would think that there would have been a contending team for a guy with a proven track record like Campbell on a 1-year, $5 million deal. I'm surprised that more teams weren't in on him at the very beginning of the season.
Yeah, that 1-year deal. I think teams are afraid of the age. I think they saw the age because they fall off that cliff real fast in the NFL. And I think people were afraid of it because, you know, he's with the Dolphins back in 24, just that 1-year deal in Arizona. But I truly think teams were afraid of that age when it came to him. But is this a perfect guy this time of year? Yeah. Hey, if you're Brett Veach, go play somewhere else, that's fine. But come here for the last couple of months because if you look at the schedule for the Chiefs, it is very enticing for December on. I love their schedule. We're talking road trips like to Tennessee and Vegas. Come on now. Tennessee and going out to Arrowhead West. It's the perfect setup for the Chiefs. But, yeah, the Campbell makes perfect sense for the Kansas City Chiefs because it's kind of what they do.
I want to play this audio for you. This is Nate Taylor. This is him talking about Omar Norman Lott, his injury, and what that means for the depth on the defensive line.
Omar Norman Lott, as I wrote on ESPN.com and alluded to this on Twitter, like he was going to start getting more snaps outright than like Jerry Tillery and Derek Nottie to expedite his progress. Well, now he's got the ACL tear. He's out for the season. Just a devastating injury for a guy who has dealt with a number of injuries this year.
How long until they start calling around on teams at defensive?
I would say Monday.
Okay.
You get another sample size with the games that have been played on Sunday. I think logically you can start making significant calls with like real intention behind them Monday before you play. You might check in now just to get a feel, but like nothing serious. I'd be a little bit more surprised if either side, was willing to initiate a trade right now just because of what you said for maybe the teams that will eventually be sellers. But, you have until November 4th, so there's no it's not like you have to rush in order to get compensation right now from a contending team.
But the Chiefs are going to add somebody, right? I'd be surprised if they added no one.
Yes, that would be the assumption.
Yeah, I'm with Cody there at the end. I suspect the Chiefs are going to add a defensive lineman between now and November 4th. The question is who, and then I think the second question is, does that player make a difference? They did this last year. They traded a 6th-round pick for Joshua Uche. We all went on his Pro Football Reference page. We saw that he had 11.5 sacks a couple of years ago. We got all excited about the possibility of putting him in Spags' defense and that he was going to unlock something. Nothing happened. He couldn't get on the field. And now you look in Philadelphia. I mean, he plays like 30% of the snaps there. So he's just another rotational piece for them. So I guess to me, the question now with the Chiefs is, and I think this is the biggest question leading into the Buffalo game, who are they thinking about potentially adding? And if they add that player, are they committed to putting him on the field and giving him a chance? They never put Joshua Uche on the field. Maybe he could have helped him, maybe he couldn't. But you certainly can't help him from the sideline.
It's going to be a scheme fit that they know they can play right away. Because, again, they're not looking for long-term answers. This is pushing all in for this season when you still got Chris Jones before, you fall off that cliff. Kelsey's probably last year. But you push all in now, and Brett Veach is this younger GM type that'll do these kind of things. Unfortunately, he didn't have the draft capital ready to play with. Like, he didn't have that draft capital to go out there and really do a lot of maneuvering. That's why this Calais Campbell might be a good situation for the Chiefs. Late round pick swaps are really not an option at this point. Maybe a Jalen Phillips, somebody like that. I'm not wild about that, but he is out there, and Bradley Chubb's out there, but that's going to cost you a lot more money. I'm more of the running back situation. I know you're set right now, and the Chiefs like what they see in Brashard.
You and I are the only two people that feel this way.
And they like this combination of Kareem Hunt. But all of a sudden, when we thought Kareem Hunt was hurt against the Raiders, it's like, oh, crap. Like you don't know how long he's out. Then you see the reports that he's just fine. Kelsey goes and tells us Tracy Wolfson, he's fine. And that was great. But you're one play away. So all of a sudden not having that depth that you think you did. Because Andy Reid loves it now because Brashard's his pass-catching back like P. Ryan. Kareem Hunt, your grinder, at picking up third downs like crazy and fourth downs like crazy. He's been awesome at the 1 yard.
What's Isaiah Pacheco's role? Because I'm with you. The other two have a very defined role. What's Pacheco's role?
He can't catch, and they're trying to get motivated. They're hoping to catch that lightning in a bottle contract year, that he catches that contract year for somebody else and just has that enthusiasm. Like I'll give him credit. The guy's plays a lot of enthusiasm, but you're one play away from all of a sudden having Elijah Mitchell come off your deactive list, which you talk about Fulton being a doghouse. This guy completely is. He can't even get on the field, man.
I haven't seen him.
Like Elijah Mitchell's here. He's got that 4.32 speed. I mean, he's holding break glass in case of emergency. What are they doing? Yes. Would I take a Breece Hall because he's undrafted free agent? Yes. Next year, yes. Would I want an Alvin Kamara in this offense for short term? I know he's 30, but for $6 million, you could get away from the deal next year, which they wouldn't do. They wouldn't pick up that option for next year, even though he re-upped here recently, which is ridiculous for his age. But this guy's Kareem Hunt's age. He's got to understand who he is. But I'll say this. I can't imagine somebody else out there that I think would fit more in an Andy Reid offense than Alvin Kamara. And I know he doesn't want to be traded. He's going to go to the beach and drink Mai Tais if he's traded, right? And everybody said it's pina coladas or something like that because he didn't want to move. Did play at Hutch JUCO. So, it's not exactly in the area, but it kind of is in the state of Kansas. But, yeah, I'm more for I understand defensive line. I see all these reports Chiefs are interested in defensive line and edge. Well, no crap. No crap. Just look at the Chiefs roster and what they are. Of course they're interested in that. I would be more interested in running backs as well.
Right now, we're joined in studio by Binkley. Binkley, two teams I want to ask you about. If you're a believer, we'll get to college coming up after the commercial break. Are you a believer in the Indianapolis Colts? That was a nice win for them on Sunday.
Yeah, that win. Yeah, you started, Daniel Jones got a chip on his shoulder. I do like players with chips on their shoulder. Jonathan Taylor's a stud. And Tyler Warren is completely a stud. And I just think it's funny that people are not giving the Bears more crap. Like, everybody loves the Bears.
It never
and
made
Ben
any
Johnson.
sense to me why they took Loveland
They
over
took Colson
Warren.
Loveland at 10. Tyler Warren's sitting right there.
Yeah.
Like, Tyler Warren would have made a difference for that offense. Colson Loveland doesn't even start. Komet starts for him. I mean, his production's down. Like, no one cared. Like, the Bears continue to draft the wrong guy. And they didn't take Tyler Warren, which is an absolute stud. That's a great fit for Indianapolis. This guy's on a touchdown tear at this point. So that's a big reason why they're for real. But, yeah, I know they went out to the Chargers. They're down 3 tackles at this point, and Marion Hampton is on injured reserve. But they handled them, man. And they handled them in L.A. And I thought that was a real kind of litmus test. Who's going to get the win number 5? It's going to be the Chargers or the Colts. So, yeah, they certainly showed me something with that win against the Chargers. I mean, I wouldn't say great upper echelon, but that's a good team that will be a playoff team.
Are you a believer in the Broncos?
I was, and I guess I am coming back 33 points in the fourth quarter scoring. That shows a lot. It was really baffling only beating the Jets by 2. But that's what you chalk up to. London games are weird. I mean, Justin Fields was minus 10 yards. You only beat him by 2. That was one of our circa picks, by the way, when it Rob. And they got to beat him by 7, but it's a different story. But that defense is great. Pass rush is elite. I mean, they're doing things with pass rush. They went into this week with 30 sacks, with only 20 being in second place. I mean, they're still number 1 in the NFL in sacks. I do believe in that defense, and I was more a fan of Bo Nix and what he did last year than what he's doing this year. But I do like J.K. Dobbins. I do think Denver's a solid football team. So, yes, I do believe in them. Yeah, I do think they're the second-best team in the AFC West.
I would say just right now, I think the Chiefs are in 2 completely different fights. They're in a fight for the division. I don't think the Chargers, like right now, the Chiefs and the Chargers have the same record. The Chiefs are going to win more games down the stretch. Denver, I look at their schedule. Denver's going to make this a very interesting race. You aren't winning this year by 4 games the way that you did last year. You're not lapping the field. And they're in a legitimate race for the 1 seed. Now, all the important games are still there. You play the Broncos twice. You play the Colts. You play the Bills coming up. So, we're going to have a pretty clear picture, I would say, in a month's time after you get past the game against the Commanders, if the Chiefs are realistic options for the 1 seed or not. Coming up on the other side, we'll keep talking football. We got Binkley here in studio. Let's transition to college football. Missouri has a big game on the road against Vanderbilt. KU and K-State play each other this weekend. Real big local college football. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Smokehouse Barbecue has always been our choice when it comes to barbecue in Kansas City. We love everything about Smokehouse Barbecue. And now Smokehouse has street tacos, their newest menu item. 3 flour tortillas, chopped burnt ends and smoked sausage, plus corn elote and Cajun sour cream and a side. And now, every Tuesday, kids eat for $1.99 with the purchase of an adult entree. So visit Smokehouse Barbecue in Gladstone, Zona Rosa, or Independence, and at smokehousebbq.com. It's Smokehouse Barbecue.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. You'll be able to build parlays, bet player props, or even ride the live line. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back. On December 1st, you'll be able to see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's football season, and I can't wait for the games. And now I have even more reason to cheer on the Chiefs. I just head to Hy-Vee the day after any game and score savings at the pump with my Hy-Vee Perks card. Win or lose, I earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score based on the amount I spend. If the Chiefs score 35 points, I save 35 cents per gallon when I spend $35 on groceries. The more we score, the more I save only at Hy-Vee. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
It's game day, and nothing says Chiefs football like the aroma of a tailgate grill. Kick off your pregame party with a Kingdom Meat Bundle from Hy-Vee. Get 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 pork chops, 4 bratwurst, and 4 chuck patties for just $30. Plus, get a 10-cent per gallon fuel saver. Toss in some chips and dip, side dishes, and Chiefs-themed baked goods. Score the extra point with your favorite tailgate beverage from Hy-Vee Wine and Spirit. Just one stop for all your game day needs, only at Hy-Vee.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbor's attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching.
Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere. Explore hundreds of games like slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style cards. Sign up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses. And enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/play.
Boostin' Barbecue this Friday and Saturday at Flying H Drag Strip. Online at boostinbarbecue.com.
The fastest cars, burnouts, car show, barbecue competition, and Chris Jansen live Saturday night. Boostin' Barbecue this Friday and Saturday at Flying H Drag Strip in Odessa. Kids 12 and under free. Tickets at boostandbarbecue.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Good news, that wreck is cleared up north, but big backups remain. 35 northbound just past 69, up on the wrecker, and a few minutes for you to unwind. Down south, Grandview still working. 49 northbound at 140th, the right lane is blocked. Shawnee, that's a stall. 35 northbound past 67th. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Trent McDuffie from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, we got Bink in studio. Random questions coming up in just a bit. Bink, let's start with Kansas and Kansas State. Both of these coaches need this for very different reasons. If you are Lance Leipold, you have a 6th-year quarterback who has all the experience in the world. You're a home favorite. You've been the better, more consistent team this year. Your program has invested more money in football than in any other time in the program's history, and you got a wounded K-State coming to your building. You got to figure out a way to end this streak. if you're Chris Kleiman. You've had a down year. K-State is not having a typical K-State year. I don't think they're going to a major marquee bowl. But you know what would be really great to say at the end of the year? At least we beat Kansas again. You lose this game, you are possibly missing a bowl game this year. Like, you got to find 3 wins on that schedule. You're eliminated from any Big 12 conversation, and you lost to KU. I don't think it's going to be a fun offseason for Chris Kleiman. Both of these coaches really need this game on Saturday.
They do, and I thought Kleiman was kind of at a crossroads earlier this year because the team just wasn't playing like K-State teams. The energy wasn't there. K-State's usually a full energy type of team. Whether they have talent or not, it's always that full energy. But they got it back, man. Even their last game before the bye week, they did score twice defensively, and that was big for Kansas State getting back into that realm. For Kansas, it's about stopping the run. They just can't do it. I mean, they're playing like the Buffalo Bills in the NFL. You can't stop running backs. They're last in the Big 12 at stopping the run, and teams just running like crazy on them, just like what Texas Tech did to them on the ground a couple of weeks. That was ridiculous. But they need to stop the streak. Kansas needs to beat them for the first time with the 16-game streak going to Kansas State. But you're right, and oftentimes we've seen those great basketball teams in a conference, and the team that upsets them, that's the pelt on the wall. That's what they look forward to. Hey, we're not going to the tournament, not doing anything else, but we beat so-and-so. We beat this top 5 team, this top 10 team. And for Kansas State, yeah, that's big. You're in-state rival. Recruiting and everything else, if all things are considered the same. Is Kansas now on the same par as us? Kansas State has to ask themselves, are they getting to that point? But, yeah, saying you beat Kansas would be big for that program. And saying you beat Kansas State and you stop the streak of what's been going on in the recruiting battle when you're basically fighting over a lot of the same guys, that goes a long way. So, yeah, this has now become one of those games of it doesn't really matter. You're not going to win the national title, not going to win this conference. Your only thing you can play for at this point, actually, Kleiman can coach for his job, and now they can go out and which they got to keep him because look at all these openings out there now. You're not going to get the best of the best in situations like that. But yeah, this is a big win for both if they do it. I'm looking forward to watching it. I think it'll be extremely competitive.
I'm with you. I mean, if you're Kansas, you got to start thinking win. If you don't win this one, like all the things are lined up right now for you to finally get this monkey off your back and just move on.
Jalen Daniels freaking coming back, man. I mean, it's
who you got.
Can't waste that.
I think KU wins. Like if you're asking me right now, feet to my fire. If you gave me $100 free bet on FanDuel and said you got to bet on this game, I'd bet on KU on the money line to win this game.
If they can be better at stopping the run, I would favor Kansas because it's in Lawrence. If this game is in Manhattan, 100% going K-State. But because it's in Lawrence, I'm going to go Kansas.
I don't want to see Rob's face if he has to leave. If he has to walk out of that stadium.
Man.
I'm just saying.
Rob's a big fan.
If Rob has to walk out of David Booth Memorial Stadium with a loss, I don't know. I don't know if he psychologically will be able to recover from this one.
You mean Gold, same situation, these Kansas guys we're with.
Let's talk about Missouri's game against Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
This is a playoff game, in my opinion. Both of these teams have one loss in the SEC. This feels like an elimination game.
Because Vanderbilt would be in the playoffs right now.
100%.
Vanderbilt's in. I mean, ESPN did their bracket the other night. Vanderbilt's in. That's why Missouri to win this game, huge.
I think both teams control their own destiny if they win this game or not. Now, you still got to handle your own business. Missouri plays A&M at home. They go on the road to play Oklahoma. But if you can go on the road and get what is perceived to be a very big win against a program right now that is clearly on the up and up, that's a huge win for Missouri. If you're Vanderbilt and your only loss is on the road against Alabama, you beat LSU, you beat Missouri, you don't have a big stumble down the stretch, Vanderbilt also controls their own destiny when talking about the playoff.
I mean, both these teams can't overlook the other one. I mean, just if they win, yeah, it's great, but Vanderbilt has to go to Texas. I understand Texas hasn't been the team we expect in the past, but they did pace Oklahoma with the number 1 defense in the country.
I think Vanderbilt's better than Texas is.
Vanderbilt's tough, and other SEC teams are having a hard time figuring that out and realizing it. Vanderbilt's very good. And this is a tough game. Then Missouri has to turn around and play an A&M that is undefeated. But Texas A&M has to go to LSU. And they had a real fight against Arkansas this past weekend. Yeah, it's a huge game. And, yeah, Vanderbilt's a fun story, man. I love the Pittsburgh State connections there. Their offensive coordinator won a national title at Pittsburgh State. He was with Jerry Kill at New Mexico State. He was there recruiting Diego Pavia when he was at New Mexico State. Jerry Kill is still on that sideline as an offensive consultant. The former New Mexico State coach Tim Beck was with him. I mean, there's a lot of connections to Pittsburgh State with Vanderbilt. It's kind of a nice story.
I mean, we know
and
this.
it's the first top 10 they've had since 1947.
I mean, we
which is
know
crazy.
this when it comes to football, but it really just goes to show you the value of culture, coach, and quarterback. I mean, Indiana had never won 9 games in a college football season. Last year, they get the right coach. Year 1, they make the college football playoff. Year 2, they go on the road and beat Oregon. They're the second-ranked team in college football. You look at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has been bad our entire life. Vanderbilt has been the team that you schedule for homecoming in the SEC.
It's true.
Vanderbilt's ranked number 10 right now, and I don't know why Diego Pavia is not getting more conversation for the Heisman Trophy. Like, that player is the embodiment of what the Heisman should be.
He's moving up to about 5th in odds at this point, and he is. And Indiana's a great story. There's 3 draftable receivers on that team. I really like Surratt on that team of receivers, and Mendoza could be the first quarterback taken. Let's be honest, he is. And a lot of people looking at that with Fernando Mendoza. He did come from Cal. They lost 2 important pieces. They lost Jack Endries, their tight end, who transferred to Texas. They lose Mendoza to Indiana. Let's not forget, this was the first FBS team to get to 700 losses. They currently have the most losses of any team in college football with 715. So what they're doing in Indiana is incredibly impressive. Signetti hit the transfer portal hard when he first got to Indiana, but they are solid. And when you're looking at 4 draftable pros on that offense, yeah, that's a tough offense to beat, but they're legit. Vanderbilt is, and teams are having a hard time realizing, hey, Indiana's good. Hey, Vanderbilt's good. And now they're having a hard time saying, well, Missouri's good too. So it's not an easy out for anybody.
Give me a story right now in college football that you don't think is getting nearly enough conversation. I'll throw one out there. Virginia has a chance of winning the ACC. Like, that's a team that everybody's so focused on Georgia Tech, and I certainly get it. Louisville goes on the road, pulls off that big win against Miami. Virginia, they won that game against Florida State. You look at their schedule the rest of the way. Like, Virginia could very easily steal one of those spots in the ACC championship game and be 60 minutes away from being in the college football playoff. That is a realistic possibility.
And also the overtime games they've had. The overtime games that Virginia's had. I think the underlying story kind of is what Louisville did. They were a one-loss team that went down to Miami and won. And great receiver in Christopher Bell will be a top 3 wide receiver in the draft this year. But Jeff Brom and what he does, being that kind of giant killer and what he does. But Miami had a great resume. I mean, they beat Notre Dame. They've beaten South Florida. That's another ranked team, actually a playoff team if it ended the day. You'd have Notre Dame and South Florida and what they've done to Florida State at Florida State. And they beat Louisville in overtime, Virginia did. So their one loss was to, who you say, Virginia at that point. So, yeah, so I'd say Louisville's kind of a story that people aren't talking about. Yeah, Virginia's won 2 games in overtime. They had a double overtime game against Florida State that they won. There's something about winning these games, too.
That's one of the craziest field stormings I've ever seen in my life.
Louisville was overtime. And the other storyline, I think, too, is you can't kill Georgia off. Like, as bad as they've looked at times, as stagnant as that offense.
They were on the ropes in the 4th quarter against Ole Miss and got themselves off.
But you couldn't stop. They didn't punt. There was only 2 punts in that Ole Miss game, and both of them were Ole Miss in the second half. But Gunnar Stockton put himself back up there, as far as he ran for 59 yards, threw for all his yards, and they were using a backup tight end, lucky to get those touchdowns. But Georgia's always reminded me of the Chiefs. You know how they won back-to-back national championships. The Chiefs win. You think you got them beat, but you don't knock them out. You let them linger around like Tennessee did. They kept letting them linger around, and then Georgia's going to smack you in the mouth. They're going to take the win and go home. And you're going to go home with the L in the fetal position. That's what teams have done for years with Georgia. They go in there and they end up finding a way to lose like Ole Miss did this weekend.
Coming up on the other side, it's time for Random Question Time with Binkley, 913-586-7965. If you got a question, now's the time to ask Binkley. We'll get back to the Chiefs coming up at the top of the hour. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more, so you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Hey Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Our summer sales event is here and the deals are hotter than ever. Right now, drive home in a brand new 2025 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport starting at under $30,000. Or lease for just $399 a month with zero down. Need something bigger? Check out the spacious new Explorer, the larger Bronco where you can pop the top and doors off for those nice fall days, or the always tough F-150 STX Crew Cab 4-wheel drive. Just zero down and $499 a month. Lease payments are plus tax, title, and license. And folks, if you haven't checked out the versatile Ford Maverick, you're missing out. At Victory Ford, we have them in stock starting under $30,000. That's unbelievable value, a pickup that even fits right in your garage. Kansas City, if you haven't been behind the wheel of a new Ford lately, now's the time. The build quality is second to none, and we've got the selection ready for you today. So don't wait. Visit us at the Legends in KCK or online at victoryfordkc.com. Victory Ford, where our first price is better than our last.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere. Explore hundreds of games like slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style cards. Sign up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses. And enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/play.
Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Good news, that wreck is cleared up north, but big backups remain. 35 northbound just past 69, up on the wrecker in a few minutes for you to unwind. Down south, Grandview still working. 49 northbound at 140th, the right lane is blocked. Shawnee, that's a stall. 35 northbound past 67th. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Juju Smith-Schuster from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Bink, has anybody ever called you Unc before?
No.
Okay. I was just curious.
No?
I just wanted to know.
Should they?
I was wondering. I was
Really call Shannon Sharp that?
Yeah. I know.
What's
Someone
it mean?
on the text line wanted to know.
What's it mean?
Like uncle, it's like a term of endearment, like OG or something.
Yeah, no one's called
like,
me Unc.
if you saw like a kindly older black man, you go and be like, hey, what's up, Unc?
What's up, Unc?
And he would just,
Okay. All right. No one's called me that.
That's why I was wondering. I didn't know. That's why the
They
text
call me a
line
lot of
wanted to-
names I can't mention, but
That's why I wanted to ask you. We'll get back to the Chiefs coming up in just a bit, but right now I don't want to talk about the Chiefs because right now this segment is all about you, Binkley. You want to know why? What time is it?
Let me check. Oh, random question time!
Binkley, I actually want to play this for you because someone asked, would you do this? And I think you are the perfect person to ask this to. This audio comes courtesy of Fox 5 in Atlanta.
Forget big weddings. Now it's the proposal that's breaking the bank. Couples are dropping serious cash just to pop the question, with some proposals now costing more than the honeymoon or even the ceremony itself. According to the New York Post, one man spent over $14,000, including a private rooftop setup. Another couple flew to Portugal, shelled out $17,000, complete with designer watches, drone footage, a luxury hotel. Experts say it's all about the wow moment and the Instagram likes to prove it, and is being driven by influencers. So what do you think about the pricey trend? Let us know.
So what do you think about the pricey trend? Let us know.
Idiotic. Dumb, man. I mean, the odds are kind of flip a coin, man. It's going to last or not. Spending that kind of jack on that, that's ridiculous. Because if you get divorced in a year or two, which does happen all the time, you're at that money. And you think, man, this money could have gone towards a car, could have gone into house payment, could have paid off some college loans or some other loans. This money could have gone many other places besides on your finger after you just left me and took my retirement fund.
How did you propose?
Pulled over on the side of the road. It was very, it didn't cost a damn thing.
Did you have this planned before, or
no?
I just want to know the backstory.
No, I waited till we got to Missouri. We were wait till Missouri.
Couldn't do it over there.
No, I had to wait till I was in Missouri.
You pulled off to the side of the road like you were placing a bet. That's how, a lot of us have done that before. You got to drive just over to the Kansas side. You got to be like.
It was before that. It was some in my tire or something like that. But before that, but yes, the Kansas casino is very alluring. But this was before the Kansas casino.
Okay, I just was wondering. 913-586.
And in case you're wondering, text line, it didn't last.
7965. Binkley, do you like garage beer?
Beers in a garage?
No, the Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce brand garage beer.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just, it's good beer. I mean, it's not on. I mean, I like this type of year. I like the seasonal beers and stuff like that. You can't replace my Coors Light, man. I'm like your Miller Lite, C-Dot. You find something you really like and you just go to that jam, man. You go to that jam. So, yeah, it's fine beer, but you got to get in my heart, man. And right now, it's not in my heart.
I had the garage beer one time. It just didn't taste like anything
it tasted
to me.
fine. I thought it tasted fine.
Yeah, I just didn't really get any. It didn't have enough oomph for me.
I mean, it's a rapid consumption beer.
Yeah, no, I definitely got that from it.
Yeah, you can definitely drink a few.
Do they come in bottles? I've only seen it in cans.
I've just seen the cans.
Yeah, I've only seen it in cans.
It's one you can sit down and drink, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever the hell you want, but it's not going to kill you.
I'm more of a bottle person than a can person. Is that kind of standard?
Bottle of Miller Lite?
Yeah, I'm more of a. I don't know if that's like a standard thing.
What's a good night for you? 3 down, 4 down. Hell, you go 6 pack.
2's fine. I don't need more
really
than 2.
How long does it take you for 2?
I mean, I can drink 2 pretty quickly. They.
So you're 2 and done. Then you're on the Gatorade or whatever.
It's 2 and then I don't need another one.
It's Friday or Saturday night, man. You don't have a show in the morning. Sometimes I know you do on the weekends. Sometimes just try 6, man. Just see how you feel. But don't drive.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Call me here, Rob.
Rob, have you tried this garage beer? Do you like it?
I've had it. I feel like it tastes like Miller Lite to me. Like that's the taste I get. I've had it on draft at a bar, and I was like, oh, they have it on draft. I might as well have it. I've also had the garage beer lime. That I wouldn't recommend.
Well, that's a good comparison because that's not what you'd think of an Oktoberfest or something like that. Rob likes IPAs and stuff like that. I mean, garage beer's not that.
Binkley, are you handing out candy on Halloween?
No, I've done the full-size candy bars before, but one time I put a full, thing out there because I was busy, and the little bastards took it. And from that day on, I'm like, nah. You took all the damn candy, you took the damn bowl. What you did with this, I don't know. So once you did that, take care, lights off, I'm watching football.
They took the whole bowl?
Took the whole damn bowl, man. I put a sign that said, hey, be careful. They took everything. Once that happened, done.
Okay.
I'll go to, I'll get full-size candy bars to the kids I like or something like that. But the whole give the neighborhood candy, that ended quickly.
Do you like scary movies?
I used to like the Friday the 13th or Freddy Krueger one, stuff like that. But I'm not a huge movie guy anyway.
Okay, I just was...
not a huge movie guy.
Have you ever been to a haunted house before?
When I was a kid, I went to those Edge of Hell or something like that. Those ones you spend way too much money on. Hell, they're like $60 now, aren't they? Something like that.
Yeah, I don't fool with
I wouldn't go with it. I went to like one as a kid, like just one. And that was it. And I was done. I was like, this sucked. Done.
Text line 913-586-7965. Great question. IHOP or Waffle House?
Waffle House, man. I think Waffle House is one of the 5 finest establishments in America. I mean, honestly, it never closes. There's no reason for a lock. It's open 365, 24 hours a day, and you can go in there anytime. And I've loved going there. There was a place I used to go to Kentucky all the time, and it was home of the meanest waitress in Kentucky. And I've always been impressed, too, C-Dot, because they don't use fancy computers or anything. They don't write things down. They yell things at the cook. Hey, this is what they put the whole order. They remember it. Like, they remember it, and they got your order right there. I've had Waffle House on Christmas before, and what many people don't realize is Waffle House has their own music. They cut their own music. There's actually a Waffle House theme song in their jukebox. But it's a very economical deal. I love the Waffle House.
There's a Waffle House theme song?
There absolutely is a Waffle House theme song.
Rob, can you find this? Have you ever heard the Waffle House jingle before? I've never heard this before.
They got a whole album out.
Do you have an order? Because I actually don't get waffles when I go there. I get the omelet. I also get the hash brown.
You love an omelet.
I really love their grits. I had an omelet for breakfast today.
The hash browns are great. Man, I do get the waffles, though.
Binkley, I'm sad that our time has come to a close.
Let's go to Waffle House.
Is there a little bit of wisdom that you would like to leave people with as they are driving home from work?
Sure. Save the Halloween costumes for your kid. Don't you and the wife go on the Halloween costume because nobody needs to see your pictures on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. It's a kid's holiday. Don't forget it.
I don't know if I can advocate now. I understand why I don't want you wearing one, but the wife, I don't mind if she wears a Halloween costume. That's actually one of my
zombie or something?
That's actually one of my favorite days on Instagram is the Halloween time. So I can see what
as long as it's like a naughty nurse or something, not a zombie.
Yeah, I mean I feel like that's the purpose of Halloween is they can dress up and be whatever they want. That's what I really enjoy about Halloween. So that I can't fully endorse that message from Jay Binkley. I can't fully endorse it. Coming up at the top of the hour, the Chiefs, there are a couple of players that are being rumored to come to Kansas City. There are a couple of players who have been rumored to be out of Kansas City. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by KC Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase this Thursday, tomorrow, October 23rd at J. Rieger and Company Distillery. We've got a crash on the way down to Olathe 35 southbound as you approach 435. That's a crash in the right lane. The Triangle 71 southbound at Bannister. That's a 2-car crash. And I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
BetMGM is inviting you to charge the field this pro football season. Existing BetMGM customers can have a ball without having to sweat. Log into your account to get a pro football no sweat token. Apply the token to your next pro football bet. If you lose with the token attached, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets. That's right. With a no sweat token, you get your stake back in bonus bets if you don't win. There's nothing like a fresh set of downs. And that's just what BetMGM is offering if you don't win with a no-sweat token. Find your favorite matchup and be part of the action. Make this pro football season one for the ages. Make it legendary.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. And when we go live, place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. Starting November 17th, you can create your DraftKings Sportsbook account in Missouri and get ready for launch day on December 1st. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Hey, Zach. Are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Hey, Chiefs fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Kansas City Chiefs. And this season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Thank you, KC, for voting Century Roofing the best roofing company in the Metro in the Stars 2025 KC Favorites competition. After 35 years, we're giving back to you by extending our free material upgrade sale through the end of the year. Get a free upgrade to impact-resistant shingles with any roof replacement for better protection and possible insurance savings. Trust the best, Century Roofing. Visit CenturyRoofingKC.com for your free estimate today.
Hey, Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
Century Roofing, we've got you covered, KC.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Park & Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Don't fumble your airport parking. Score big with Park & Go. All covered parking, fast and free shuttles, and open 24/7. For the best deals in airport parking, reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family owned and fan approved.
Listen to the Chiefs and Commanders on Monday night with pregame starting at 4, kickoff at 7:15 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2, Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station.
All right, we got a lot to get into in this final hour of the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here with you. Earlier today on the show, we had Lance Leipold on the show. We had Chris Kleiman on the show. I'll play both of those best of cuts here coming up in this 5 o'clock segment. And we'll also get you ready for the weekend in the National Football League. The Chiefs are on Monday Night Football, so it feels like a bye week, even though it's not a bye week, but we'll still get you ready for Monday Night Football. We did find out that the Commanders' starting quarterback, Jaden Daniels, is not going to play on Monday Night Football, and Marcus Mariota is going to play. Now, I don't have to play the audio again. You guys know what happened the last time that Marcus Mariota was at Arrowhead. But I at least want to reiterate one more time for those of you in the 5 o'clock audience, the forward progress call back in 2017 is the worst call in the history of the National Football League. It is also the last time that the Chiefs didn't make the AFC Championship game, which just goes to show you how long ago that was and how much success Kansas City has had since 2018. But Marcus Mariota back in Arrowhead, I cannot think of a call that is worse than that one. So, Rob, let's shout out Baker University. We'll talk a little KU. We'll talk a little K-State. We'll also talk about some trade rumors circling around the Kansas City Chiefs.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
As always, Carrington, the hits are brought to you at Baker University. Make your next era orange at Baker University, the first university in Kansas, and ranked number 1 in return on investment among private universities in Kansas. Baker University, forever in our orange era.
All right, so let's talk about the 2 players that are rumored to Kansas City. One was Breece Hall, and these rumors were started by Jeremy Fowler and Dan Graziano of ESPN. I'm just not buying the Breece Hall rumors. He's 24 years old. He's in the last year of his contract. I also think that Breece Hall is in line to just really get paid at the end of the season. Now, maybe the Chiefs are willing to overpay to go get Breece Hall, and they're simply looking at him as a one-year option. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think whatever team goes out and makes the trade for Breece Hall, if he gets traded, I think they're looking at him as a long-term viable solution. I think he's worth probably a 3rd or a 4th round pick. I think you get him. I think you can contemplate putting a franchise tag on him to negotiate a long-term deal. I think that Breece Hall is one of the better running backs in the National Football League. I'm certainly not against going to get Breece Hall. That just would go anti everything that they've done for the last 6 months. I don't think they're going to do that. Maybe the Chiefs end up making a move at running back. I just don't think it's that one. So at least for now, I'm ready to table any conversation about running backs. I want one. I know a few of you on the text line want a running back. I just don't think the Chiefs are really interested in one. I don't think they're actively looking for one. So I'm ready to put that conversation away. If we got to pick it back up, sure. But for right now, I'm putting it in the cabinet. I do believe the Chiefs are going to pick up a defensive lineman between now and the trade deadline, which is November 4th. So we are 13 days away from the NFL trade deadline. 2 names that I think make a lot of sense and are in line with how the Chiefs sort of move. Number 1 is Jalen Phillips. He is a 25-year-old defensive lineman for the Miami Dolphins. Now, it is important to note, he tore his Achilles 2 seasons ago. He tore his ACL last year. So we are talking about a player with a significant injury history. It is also important to note that he is on the final year of his contract. He is on the final year of a rookie contract, and this is the 5th-year option. So we're talking about $13 million fully guaranteed. Now, important to note, half of that money has already been paid out. So we're talking about you signing him essentially to a 1-year, $6 million deal. Maybe Miami is willing to eat some of that. I also would guess that there would be a little bit of a market for him, but probably not a robust market, maybe not at the price that the Dolphins could be asking for. This is a move in line with what they usually do. They love a Brett Veach special, a guy that was a former 1st or 2nd round pick that checks out physically, that was a coveted college prospect that failed in his first location, and now you can breathe life into his career. They've taken those chances before. Some have hit, some have missed. This will be my question. Are you committed to putting him on the field? because they did this same thing last year with Joshua Uche. If you remember, they traded a 6th-round pick. I remember we were getting Patriots guests on the show and Pro Football Focus on the show to tell us more about him. And then it ended up being for nothing because he could never get on the field and they didn't use him and he was getting healthy DMPs. So the Chiefs are telling me, and all of the rumors are that they're interested in a defensive lineman. Maybe it's a D tackle, maybe it's a DN, but I do think they're picking up another big body. Are they going to trade for this big body, or are they going to try to look through the waiver wire, look through the available free agents, and go grab one of them? You might be laughing, but that's how they got Mike Pennell. They did not trade for Mike Pennell. They picked him up in the middle of the season. He just was at home working out, and that obviously ended up working for them. Could they go back and try to go get Mike Pennell? Could they go get Colin Saunders, who currently plays for the Saints? Let's see how it plays itself out. But I do feel very confident in saying I expect the Chiefs to go get a defensive lineman at some point here in the next 2 weeks.
And I would be a proponent of that move. You're right. We can't answer this. Is that player going to play? I don't know. But on the surface, the Joshua Uche trade last year, something similar to that for Jalen Phillips, a guy who had a solid rookie year before injuries kind of derailed his career, is the type of move I would be a proponent of for the Chiefs. It's a position of need, it's low acquisition cost, and it makes too much sense with what they do. I'm a big proponent of Jalen Phillips or someone in that Jalen Phillips type of, echelon for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Someone that makes a lot of sense to me would be Calais Campbell, who plays for the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, we're talking about a veteran player who has stayed very healthy over the last couple of seasons. Now, you're getting a 39-year-old player who has played for 5 different teams, so I want to be realistic about what the expectations are. But, I mean, the last couple of seasons, he played for Baltimore back in 2022. He played in 14 games and had 6 sacks. In 2023, he played for Atlanta, played in 17 games, had 6.5 sacks. Last year, played for Miami, had 5 sacks. So far, in Arizona, played in all 7 games, has 3 sacks so far this season and 9 quarterback hits. To me, that's the kind of player that they're looking for. A guy who's owed $2.5 million between now and the end of the season, has shown you that he can play DN, can also play a little bit of nose tackle, can get to the quarterback, and has stayed relatively healthy, and it's just a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, he's done at the end of the season. To me, that's the kind of player they should be looking for. I'd rather have Calais Campbell than have Jalen Phillips. I think he's a better player. I think he's a more proven and productive player, and I don't question you taking him off a team and dropping him in the middle of the season and expecting him to perform. This is a guy who's been in the league for 18 years. This is the guy that has been a proven producer everywhere that he's gone. I'd rather go get Calais Campbell. To me, that's in line with if you're willing to spend a 6th-round pick and eat the rest of the money, which is no money by NFL standards, you get somebody that you can plug and play immediately. If you go trade for Calais Campbell next Wednesday, for example, you should expect him to play against the Buffalo Bills. You've been doing this long enough. Hey, we just need you to just be a body, and we'll teach you the defense as things go on. If you're asking me between those two, I'd rather go get Calais Campbell.
I still rather have Jalen Phillips because I think you can survive and advance a D tackle by adding a waiver wire type. Like, we've seen this fan base and this team make Mike Pennell a hero. Mike Pennell came out of literally nowhere. He was available for anyone. They got the most out of him. We've seen that before with Turk Wharton, albeit undrafted free agent. They found him off the scrap heap. They got the most out of him. It just feels like D tackle is a position where it's a little bit like running back, where like the elite ones are the elite ones, but you can kind of survive and advance with guys off the waiver wire. So I would be using your acquisition costs on something that costs more, and that higher cost is usually defensive end or edge rusher.
Yeah, one name that continues to be texted in, and I understand why people are saying this, and Christian Wilkins. I think that Christian Wilkins is just turning into football's version of Trevor Bauer. I don't think that Christian Wilkins is playing this year. Now, maybe he ends up playing next year at some point, but with the way that it ended in Las Vegas, there have been no rumors, no buzz, no conversation about him. There's been no report about Christian Wilkins. It seems to me that the NFL has just said, we don't want that guy around. And every team is just, yeah. Now, I don't know all of the backstory. None of us know all the backstory. But if there is one thing we know NFL teams are usually, it's forgiving, especially if you can play. If you can play, they are willing to overlook a whole lot of stuff. And they have let terrible people into the locker room. The fact that nobody seems very interested in having Christian Wilkins around tells me everything I need to know. Something going on there. I don't know what it is. I can't pinpoint what it is, but nobody really seems that serious about wanting him around on the team. Rob, let's have this part of the conversation. I know we got to play the KU interviews and the K-State interviews. So when it comes to the Chiefs, they are at least mulling over the idea of possibly trading either one of their corners. They have Christian Fulton right now. They've committed a significant amount of money to Christian Fulton. He is in line for $15 million guaranteed and has played in 17 snaps so far this season. The other player is Joshua Williams, another player who can't get on the field. I'm not going to say they're stuck with Christian Fulton because it's $15 million and teams eat that amount of money all the time in sports, but I'm keeping Christian Fulton around in case an injury happens. It's football. Injuries happen all the time. You had something happen at left tackle in which you needed a starter. You were instantly able to plug him in, and things haven't missed a beat if you were there. Why can't that happen at cornerback? Those things happen all the time in the National Football League. At one point, you really liked Christian Fulton. You liked him enough to give him $15 million guaranteed. You didn't give him that a year ago. He's never played for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm not super interested in just giving up on Christian Fulton. I would keep him. Now, Joshua Williams, a different deal. He is on his final year of his rookie deal. You're not keeping him for next year. If you can get something out of Joshua Williams, sure. He's not playing. He's a special teams player at this point. But Christian Fulton, if you liked him enough to sign him to that deal in April, I don't know why you wouldn't like him enough to just keep him around and see how the rest of the season could play itself out. You've already paid the money.
I would be a proponent of trading Christian Fulton. And some of the text line brought this up. They had to make a move, and they lost one of their late-round picks because of Derek Nottie. Boy, does that move look terrible. But that's neither here nor there. You can recoup that with a Joshua Williams and or Christian Fulton deal. I understand the depth conversation. I understand having break glass in case of emergency. I do. But carrying a guy who is going to cost you money next year, big money, to sit around and watch the games is foolish. If you are basically able to recoup the cost in the way of getting a pick, I'm a proponent of doing that. If Christian Fulton is a sit around and let's see if there's a problem guy, then that's a waste of everyone's time and money. Trade him and get a fifth, maybe a sixth round back. I mean, you're keeping him on ice, so he's really seen no football this year. I would much rather trade him than just have him be some sort of emergency option.
Yeah, but I guess my argument with him would just be this. This is money that you've already paid. And again, at some point, you had to have liked him. You gave him a 2-year, $20 million deal this offseason. You gave him a $6 million signing bonus. You guaranteed the signing bonus. You guaranteed his entire compensation for this year and $5 million of next year. At one point, you loved Christian Fulton. If he is now healthy, which we believe that he is healthy, I don't think he was healthy in August. I don't think he was healthy in September. I think he's healthy right now in October. What has changed so much with him as a player to now you don't see him as viable and a guy that you don't want on your roster in really any capacity? Now, maybe what they're doing is they're trying to keep him healthy right now and they're kind of mulling their options if they're going to trade him or not. At this point, I would just say keep him. Keep him and see what happens. I don't think you're getting a 5th-round pick for Christian Fulton. Because if I'm another team, the one thing I'm not doing is I'm not buying you out of your problem. Why would I buy you out of your problem? Right now, you gave this guy money, so he's tying up some of your cash. You also don't have a lot of late-round draft picks. I'm going to solve 2 problems for you. I'm going to take on the guaranteed money you've committed to paying, and I'm going to give you draft pick compensation that you can possibly use to go get the piece that you need to beat me in the playoffs? Absolutely not. You better live with Christian Fulton if that's the case. You better find a way to make it work. So I'm not taking that trade if I'm another team. Not for him. I might give you some for Joshua Williams. Joshua Williams is going to cost you a 7th-round pick. Ain't nobody giving you anything of value. But I'm not giving you a 4th-round pick for Christian Fulton for you to then turn around and use that on a pass rusher to then have that guy get a sack on 3rd down and now beat us in the postseason. Absolutely not if I'm another team in the league.
I also wonder if with Christian Fulton, because we both agree, Christian Fulton's a better player than Joshua Williams. Like that's part of the equation here too. I think you're going to get a similar return for either player, but maybe the team you're sending Christian Fulton to is a wider, grouping, because a team that's bad but looking for corner but maybe tries to steal a second year out of a player is more willing to make it work. the Jets just come to mind. They're not an actual example of this, but if you're a team on the fringe, if you're last year's Broncos, a team that barely got into the playoffs and has hopes of being good the following season, I think that team is more interested in Christian Fulton than teams are in Joshua Williams because he's a better player and there's control on the backside. I get what you're saying if you were trading him to a contender. Like if you're the Lions, you're not going to trade him to you're not going to take that trade and then turn around and give the Chiefs one that can beat you in the Super Bowl. I get that. But maybe a team that's fringe playoffs takes him because of the second year. I would be a proponent of trading, honestly, both, but at least one of the two players.
So earlier today, we were joined by Lance Leipold. He is the head coach at the University of Kansas. They got a big home game, one of the biggest home games that KU has had in quite some time. Kansas State is coming to town. We asked Coach Leipold, what has he learned about the Jayhawks so far this season?
Again, I've said from the start, I've said it to this team since the spring. I think we have a chance to be a really good football team, but again, consistency will be the key. And I think right now we haven't quite obtained that yet. That we have the flashes to be a really good team, and have had those chances come up from time to time, but a few of those have slipped away. The Texas Tech game, I think we were handled by a team that was significantly better than us on that day. But the other two losses, I thought we competed hard in showing those things. And again, we'll have to be at our best this Saturday against a good Kansas State team.
I'm really excited about the quarterback matchup in this one. Let's talk about your quarterback and Jalen Daniels. I think we've just seen his confidence grow. He's playing a lot more consistent. It feels like something is different with him this year. I talked to you about this earlier in the season. I was at the game against Fresno State, and I remember early on in that game, he got a first down. He signaled first down, and he just had a different aura, a different energy about him. How have you seen him grow as the season's progressed?
I think he's much more relaxed. I think as he's gone through the ups and downs, I think playing every game last year was definitely something that was important to him and showed the consistency that he can be. His approach to this has continued to be outstanding. He's one of the first guys in the building each and every day. His preparation of taking care of himself and then preparing for the opponent has been great. His confidence in the receiving core and in the game plan has been excellent as well. I think part of that confidence and being relaxed is he's really done a great job of going through his progressions and not trying to put the ball where it doesn't need to be or to a certain individual, but kind of going through things. And that's why you see different guys kind of showing up time to time with big games for us.
Right now, we're talking to Lance Leipold. He is the head coach at the University of Kansas. They got a very important game this week at home against Kansas State. Coach, let's talk about the bye week. How important was it to have that bye week after playing Texas Tech, one of the better teams in the Big 12, one of the better teams in the country, have that in the middle between one of you guys' most important games of the season at home against K-State?
Yeah, I think it's important. Again, sometimes after you kind of go through a tough night like we did down there, you want to flush it and get on to the next game as quickly as possible. But I think our guys did a good job of flushing that, owning what needs to be worked on again. And then it gave us a chance because we're, like a lot of people are this time of year, your body's getting banged up and you've got to find a way to put yourself back together and prepare and get on the practice field, let alone be ready to go on game day. And I just think it came at a good time. We were able to reduce some of the workload on some of our players and get other guys some reps and again, still prepare for a good opponent here on Saturday.
Coach, you guys have already played in one rivalry game this season a month ago against Mizzou. How valuable do you think that experience is that now you guys are hosting a rivalry game?
I think it's important anytime you get in big games, and it's a goal again as many of us in college football. You want to build consistent winning programs. You want them all to be big, but obviously there's certain ones that, based on locality and other things, become games that are talked about more. I think we still want to make sure our players approach each and every week with a level of consistency on how they prepare, their rest, how they take care of their bodies, hydration, film prep, everything that you want in your players. But as you know, when you get into it, a lot of times players know each other a little bit more and all those things that you have a chance. You feel a little extra energy in the stadium, like we said, and when it's a full house, those things help, and it also makes it a special. And I hope there's positive experiences from our first one earlier this year.
Coach, there's always going to be pressure when you're the head coach of a Power 4 school. Do you feel added pressure to break this streak?
Added pressure. We want to get this streak broken. There's a lot of things. It ends up being a lot of conversation. I think from the time we arrived and people asked about it, I said it was our responsibility in order to make rivalries that the games needed to be closer. And now close isn't good enough. We understand that. And I don't know about extra pressure. I think, we put enough pressure on ourselves in this building each and every week to be at our best. And it's a high stressful position career we've decided on. So, again, I want to make sure that we play our best football to date and see where it takes us on Saturday.
Right now, we're talking to the head coach of the University of Kansas, Lance Leipold, joining us on the show. Coach, what would it mean for you in your career? What would it mean for your team, your program, to win a game like this? We're talking about the streak here. K-State, they've won the Big 12. They played in big games. That's obviously a place that you guys are trying to get to. What would it mean to finally just get this monkey off your back, so to speak?
Well, personally, it's this is about a program. It's not about one individual. I know the head coach is the one that has his name on a lot of different things. I think it's important for this football program to have a win against Kansas State because it's been so long, and that's what we need to do and focus on. I think it would be another big step in the development and of this program and where we want it to be and where we want it to be each and every year.
Coach, what do you guys need to do on Saturday to win this football game?
Well, again, we've got to be, we watch something. We got to watch some stuff. We've let things get away from us in special teams, and really all four previous meetings since we've been here. I think we've got to be able to contain a very dynamic and explosive offense, starting with Avery Johnson, and if Dylan Edwards is on the field, and as I said, when they put those two and Jace Brown on the field, that's as athletic and speed wise as good as anybody in the Big 12, maybe the country, as far as pure speed on the field. So we got to be able to we got to be better than we were down in Lubbock as far as being gap sound and making sure that we tackle well and do those things and make them drive the field to beat us. Offensively, we got to be a little more balanced than we've been in running the ball. And we talked much about what Jalen's been doing for us. We've got to be a better third down team than we've been to date, as well as scoring touchdowns in the red zone. And if we do all these things that I've talked about, then again, we're going to have a great chance to win the football game.
Coach, I'm coming at this from a completely neutral perspective. I'm not a KU fan. I'm not a K-State fan. I just want to see a good competitive game. But part of me does want to see you win just so Rob can be happy.
if that's what puts it over the top, I'll take it. But, again, we want a great college football game on Saturday. And, again, I'm looking forward to it as we have a chance to kind of, snap this streak against Coach Kleiman and his fine program.
That was the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, Lance Leipold, joining us on the show. Coming up on the other side, we'll play for you guys what Chris Kleiman had to say. We'll also get you ready for this weekend's matchup. I really am coming at this from a completely neutral perspective. I think both coaches really need this game. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here, so drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The NBA is back. It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So even if you miss tip-off or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything. For who's going to score next to a fourth-quarter comeback. You can even combine your bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout, however you want to play. Now is the perfect time to join. FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 wager wins. So all you need to do is visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to sign up today. Fall is here, so celebrate the return of basketball season with our friends over at FanDuel. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue. Non-withdrawal bonus bet expires 7 days on street. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement. Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Get up with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
I am the greatest fan in KU history.
I'm the greatest fan in K-State history.
I only wear crimson and blue.
I drive a purple car.
This will never be settled. That's why Kansas Lottery has the Rivalry Riches Scratch Ticket. You can win up to $50,000 instantly and great game day experiences through the Kansas Lottery Play-On app.
I have a Jayhawk tattooed on the arm of a Jayhawk that's tattooed on my arm.
All my children are named Willie.
See kslottery.com for details.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only, exclusions apply.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This has been brought to you by KC Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase. It's tomorrow, October 23rd at J. Rieger and Company Distillery. We've got the crash. North KC 35 southbound at Antioch. It is multi-cars involved. Left lane is blocked. Shawnee, that's a two-car crash. 35 southbound just past Johnson Drive. It is the left lane blocked there. Discover the latest HVAC, plumbing, and trade solutions with companies like Honeywell and April Air and 20-plus other vendors at the KC Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase. It is tomorrow, October 23rd, 3 to 6 p.m. J. Rieger and Company Distillery. Enjoy complimentary food, drinks, tours, prizes, and networking. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Rob, I want to get your opinion about this. I honestly think that you could argue that both Kansas and K-State need this game equally for different reasons, but equally. Lance Leipold, they have made a tremendous commitment to you. You make a lot of money. The reason that the stadium renovations are happening the way that they are happening is because they wanted to keep you. It was literally in your contract that they had to start working on the stadium or you could just leave with no buyout. So that is a major reason of why Kansas is making the progress as the football program that they have is because of Lance Leipold. You got a 6-year quarterback. You are the better team. You are at home. It is sold out. Everything tells you this is the Saturday to finally beat them. They have beaten you for 16 consecutive years. You know how hard that is? For those of you that have like an 8-year-old kid, try to play your kid in tic-tac-toe, and do you think you would beat them 16 consecutive times in tic-tac-toe? One of the times they catch you slipping. It's hard to beat somebody 16 consecutive times in something. If you're K-State, this season is not going the way that you thought it was going to go. There was a time that people thought that K-State was the best team in the conference. People thought this. You are not winning the Big 12. You are not going to a major bowl. At least at the end of the season, what I would want to be able to tell the boosters if I'm Chris Kleiman is we beat Kansas this year. You can't strike out on everything. You can't underperform and lose to KU this year. That isn't good. I'm not saying that puts you on the hot seat, but you also got to pay attention to look at the way college football is. Teams are firing coaches here left and right. You can be in the college football playoff last year and let go the next season. There ain't no guarantees in this thing. It is a week-by-week business. So I would encourage Chris Kleiman to go win this game. I think you can argue honestly on both sides on how important this is for both programs and both universities.
I would 100% agree, which is crazy because I would have said before the season, this game is obviously more important to Lance Leipold just to get that monkey off his back and really the program's back. It's only been on his back for 3-4 years now. It's been on the program's back for another 12 or 13. But Chris Kleiman, I don't think he's on the hot seat, but a year that was supposed to have the quarterback, the running back, the D-line came back. The year that was supposed to have everything coalesce, they went to Ireland. It was real bad. They then came back. They lost a really bad game to Army. They blew one against Baylor. Like, it has not gone to form, but if you can win this one, you're back on pace to be bowl eligible, which is a big deal. And if you are bowl eligible, you might go 6-6, but say we beat Kansas again, and then you bring Avery back for one more go-round or maybe 2 more go-rounds, you can really sell the fan base. It was a blip on the radar. We're going forward. You lose this one, you might make a bowl game, and you've lost to Kansas, you are public enemy number 1 in Manhattan.
I'm looking at Kansas State's schedule the rest of the way. So, Rob, let's play this out if they lose. Let's just play it out if they lose.
So then they're 4 and...
K-State has 3 wins.
Oh, so they're 3 and 6
this
that
season.
Okay.
They have 3 wins with 4 games to go. You better get going if that's the case. You got Texas Tech at home.
That is
on the road against Oklahoma State. You should absolutely win that.
Oklahoma State's
on the road against Utah and Colorado at home, a game in which I believe K-State would be favored in that scenario, but Colorado is definitely capable of going into Manhattan this year and beating them. If they don't win this KU game and you got to win 3 of your next 4, it's very realistic to start asking the question, is K-State making a bowl game this year?
I would say, I mean, if they lose the KU game, I think I'll put down the Tech game in pencil as a loss. I feel like Utah on the road is no easy trek. Like, if you don't beat KU, I legitimately don't know you are a bowl team in 2025. Like that, this game might be the difference between getting some postseason play and no postseason play at all.
I'm with you, 100% with you if that's the case. We'll play the Kleiman coming up in the next segment. I know we're running out of time here, Rob, so I don't want to make us too late. I want to play this audio for you guys. This is Jeremy White. I would consider Jeremy White a dear friend of the show. He's above regular friend of the show. He's dear friend of the show. We have Jeremy White on 3-4 times a year. We like Buffalo. We like Jeremy White on this show. Well, this is what he said about the Chiefs.
You know how I know the Chiefs are starting to really assemble and look good is because they're becoming more annoying. When they're at their best, they're annoying. Them running a pretend to call them offsides and then Mahomes standing up and saying, this never works, only to then call a run play. That is the kind of thing that when I was in CYO basketball, I'm in 4th grade, we had an inbounds play where the point guard at the top of the key says, wait, no, I'm supposed to take it out. Like, that's your trick play in 4th grade. And the Chiefs are running that and succeeding. That's them at their most annoying.
I really do feel like nature is healing in a lot of ways. I really do. I feel like nature is healing. You guys absolutely have your swagger back. You guys are just much more fun and much more enjoyable when the Chiefs are just the absolute best. Not good when they're the best. That's when you guys are back. Buffalo's are not good. The Broncos are not good. You don't believe in the Colts. No other quarterback is good. That's when I like you guys. I also think nature is healing on the other side. Everybody's complaining about the officials. The Raiders feel bad about themselves. The rest of the league finds you annoying. They're starting to show Taylor Swift more on the television broadcast. I really feel like we're back. The first couple of weeks of the season, very weird, very odd. Not really something I could get behind. Now, everybody's back to where they should be. The Chiefs are considered the best team in the AFC. You guys got your swagger back. The rest of the league is annoyed by it. Craig Carton is considering government league conspiracies about all of this. I'm just happy to know that we're all back. Rob, I want to ask you this question here because this is the perfect 2-minute question to ask you before we have to take a break. So earlier today, I called my financial advisor. You know, I'm thinking about getting another car. I'm thinking about other things. Like, I just want to talk to him and just, hey, what's the plan for this? I want to make sure that me or you are on the same page and have a conversation about this. So we were talking about home ownership. You know, I'm thinking about just, I've been living in an apartment for a while. Maybe it's time for me to just do something different. So we were having a conversation about it. Rob, the way that he described living in a home sounded absolutely awful. He was like, you got to pay property taxes, and you got to paint the thing once every year, and then something goes wrong. He was like, every time I turn around, it's $200 for something else. And at the end of it, I was thinking, why do people do this? This sounds fun to you? Because the way that he described it, it didn't sound fun to me. Nothing about it sounded like an enjoyable experience about owning a home. It makes me think, hey, maybe I got this thing all wrong. Because now when something goes wrong, hey, man, something wrong. I don't know how to fix it. That's your job. You come fix it. Let me put this work order in. In our 20-minute conversation, Rob, there was nothing he told me about home ownership that made me like, man, I really want to go buy one. I need to go get one. Then I think he realized it was like, oh, well, it's great for equity. No, I don't want to deal with this every day. This doesn't sound like something this sounds stressful. Owning a home sounds stressful. Why would I want to sign myself up for stress? I don't want to do that. Right now, I'm not stressed. I'm very happy.
I mean, it's the same conversation as renting a car versus owning a car. Like, you can get a loaner from wherever dealership on a 1-year loan, or you can own. There's a lot of hiccups and hangups and with ownership, but on the back end, it's always better. But he's not wrong. Something always pops up, or you have to do chores that you didn't even think of because
that's what he was telling me. He was like, we pay somebody to do the landscaping, and then the roof. He was just describing all of these things that could possibly go wrong with the house, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, this doesn't sound fun. This doesn't sound enjoyable. Someone on the text line says owning a home is the American dream. Nothing he described sounded like a dream to me. It sounded like an absolute nightmare is what it sounded to me. And it sounded like something I wanted to be a part of. Coming up on the other side, yesterday was an A-plus day for the NBA. Let's talk about it. Keep it right here, so Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Numerous brands to choose from. Endless options. One incredible experience. At Aristocrat Motors, we treat every driver like royalty and offer the finest luxury vehicle experience in Kansas City. Come see us today and let us roll out the red carpet for you.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest. We believe.
Another summer is ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive, perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time. Maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Heartland Men's Health and get treated for your low T, because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Boostin' Barbecue this Friday and Saturday at Flying H Drag Strip. Online at boostinbarbecue.com.
The fastest streetcars, burnouts, car show, barbecue competition, and Chris Jansen live Saturday night. I can fix Boost and Barbecue this Friday and Saturday at Flying H Drag Strip, Odessa. Kids 12 and under free. Tickets at boostandbarbecue.com.
You know that expression, put a little spring in your step? Well, whoever said it must have been talking about Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with Glide Step, you get a pillow-like soft landing, then an explosive takeoff. It makes walking feel effortless. So springy, it's almost like you're floating. And speaking of effortless, have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins technology? Well, Glide Step Skechers slip-ins has got it, and you need it. Just step in. No hands necessary. And instantly your shoes are on. No bending down, no touching. It takes putting on your shoes to a new level of convenience. Whether you're running errands, walking the dog, or on your feet all day at work, Glide Step keeps you comfortable from morning to night, all with the ease of slip-ins. Plus, Glide Step Skechers slip-ins are available in styles for men, women, and kids. From casual to athletic to work footwear, even sandals. So you can get the comfort of Glide Step anywhere, anytime. Put some major spring in your step with Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve.
Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Still working that 2-car crash. Grandview 49 northbound as you approach 140th. The right lane blocked. Shawnee, that crash is still there. 35 southbound past Johnson Drive. Be prepared to tap your brakes there. It is at least in the clearing stages. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right. I want to talk about the NBA for just a little bit, Rob. I know we don't have a lot of time. I apologize for not playing the Chris Kleiman interview. Be sure to check out the podcast page, K-State Fan. I promise you, I did not mean this as any negativity. Rob, you would love to know that Eli Drinkwitz went on the Paul Feinbaum show today, so just wanted to let you know that.
Oh, that's neat.
Just wanted to let you know.
I'm still working very hard to get Kevin Coleman.
Chris Kleiman came on the show today. Lance Leipold came on the show. Eli, too busy to come on the show today, but he had time to go on the Paul Feinbaum show today. I just wanted to let you know that. I just wanted to let you know how he spent his free time today. All right, let's talk about the NBA. Someone on the text line said this, and I know you guys think this. CDOT, the NBA hasn't had an A-plus day since the 90s, probably. That's fine. I know that some of you will just never open your mind to the NBA and never give it a chance, and I accept that. I can live with that. Perfectly fine. I'm telling you that yesterday was it could not have gone better for the NBA than it did yesterday. For a lot of us that really like the NBA, I think we started to see a very big shift in what people's expectations are for the way that the league is covered, discussed, and presented. I don't mind Stephen A. Smith. I really don't mind it. I don't think we need Stephen A. Smith to be a part of everything. I don't think every NBA conversation needs to be a form of a first take conversation. You want to know what's so cool about the NFL? Every time the NFL talks about the NFL, they make it sound like it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. I mean, it could be a terrible game. The pregame for it will get you fired up for it. They got the people right there. They got just everything about the league is just, you need to watch it. This is big. It feels big. The NBA hasn't treated its product like that. They did yesterday. They showed the player intros. They never do that when it comes to the broadcast. During halftime, they had Mike Tirico sit down with Michael Jordan. They had the old school music. The game was fantastic. The defending NBA champion went up against Houston, who made one of the biggest trades this offseason, getting Kevin Durant. It was a triple overtime thriller yesterday. All I want as a person who loves the NBA is I want the content to be reflective of the product that I think is on the court. I think the NBA is a good, fun, exciting product. Sometimes you would never know by the way it's discussed. Not by former players, not by the journalists. I mean, one of the biggest stories last year in the NBA was one of their top journalists going after one of their, these things don't happen in the NFL. They don't happen in baseball. Why do they happen in the NBA? So yesterday, I was happy that yesterday was about basketball. There is a certain level of prestige that comes with the NBC broadcast. They do the Olympics. They do Sunday Night Football. They do Notre Dame football. It's big time to be on NBC. It felt like a big-time product yesterday. From top to bottom. From the intros, from Mike Tirico, to the halftime show, to the presentation. It felt big. It sounded big. It was great. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I watched basically the entire second half and overtime of the Rockets and Thunder game. I didn't watch a whole lot of the Lakers and Warriors game, but I watched a lot of that game, and I'm telling you, it was 2 thumbs up for me. I really enjoyed yesterday's NBA. Did you get a chance to watch yesterday, Rob?
I saw the end of the fourth quarter and overtime. I was busy doing some other stuff before then, so I didn't get a chance to watch the first basically 3 quarters. But I did see on social media the response to the NBC coverage was very, very good. It'll be fun. Like I agree with you. We don't need everything to be first take. But I think the NBA can thrive on, hey, their games on NBC are like big-time journalism, break down the game energy. And then like tonight, I haven't been, watching because I've been here. Inside the NBA is back now on ESPN. That's not, big-time journalism, but it's the fun side of the league. The league can do both, and I'm excited to see if they are able to do this correctly.
Yeah, I mean, my hope, and I think a lot of people's hope is, I hope that NBC being in it just makes everybody else up their game a little bit. That's what I hope they just up their game a bit. And I just don't think that, I don't think that anybody's up in their game. At least I didn't get that from ESPN. Last year's NBA Finals felt like a Friday night ESPN game. That's not how they should feel. That's not at all how they should feel. And I feel like NBC cares. And that's all I really want. I'm excited to see what it looks like on Amazon on Friday. Amazon, I think, has been a great player when it comes to streaming. And we know they just got endless amount of money that they're going to put out a quality product. So tonight we get the return of Inside the NBA. Really excited for that. I don't know who's playing today other than the Knicks and Cavs. I know that's the first game.
Spurs and Mavs.
Okay. That's worth watching. Victor Wembanyama and the debut of Cooper Flagg. So, yeah, another great day in the NBA. I will be locked into the NBA today. We don't have baseball again until Friday, right? That's when the World Series is back.
Series
World Series is back on Friday. So, yeah, a couple of nights. You know what? I'm going to convert one person a day on the text line to the NBA. It's going to be my goal. One person a day.
That's lofty. Lofty goal.
One person a week.
There you go.
One person a
That's
week.
more doable.
When it comes to the NBA. We'll be back tomorrow. Patrick Mahomes will be on the show. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, my